Live from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana, it's the 2018 Allstate Sugar Bowl LHSAA Prep Classic presented by the New Orleans Saints. Our coverage ends with the Class 5A championship game between the defending champion Zachary Broncos and the West Monroe Rebels. Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Palermo with former LSU and Evangel star Jacob Hester. This should be a fantastic football game. It is the third time in 3 years these two teams have met. West Monroe beat Zachary 2 years ago in the semifinals before West Monroe lost to Landry Walker in the state championship game. And then last year, it was Zachary going up to West Monroe and winning that game. And then Zachary beat Hanville in the state championship game. For West Monroe, they have not won a state championship since 2011.
But you just don't see that. You don't see two full cycles of classes almost. We're talking 7 years since really they've won a state championship game. They have a chance to do it today, right? Almost every class in West Monroe history has a state title ring, so you know these guys are going to be hungry to get one today.
For the Zachary Broncos, they are hungry too, and they got a great quarterback, and he's only a junior, Keelan Brown. He was the most outstanding player of the game last year in the state championship game for Zachary. He's good with his legs, but his passing has gotten better this season, Jacob.
I can remember his leadership a year ago. I kept looking on the chart. There's no way this kid's a sophomore. He impressed me so much a year ago in this state title game. He's only gotten better. He is going to be a tough out for West Monroe to try to stop today.
And West Monroe has a great defense. They have not allowed a point in the postseason. You have to go all the way back to 1971. Brother Martin was the last school in the highest classification to shut out every team heading into the state championship game.
I had a conversation with Coach Arledge yesterday on the dome carpet, right? And I said, you know, what is it about this year's team? He said, we don't have any superstars. There's no D1 guys. What we have is a team that likes to play for each other. They play really within themselves, and they continue to get better and better. Said it might be his best overall defense he's had since he's been at West Monroe. That's head coach and coordinator.
That's some pretty high praise for a great West Monroe defense, but they will be tested tonight in the Class 5A championship game as Zachary has a bunch of weapons led by Keelan Brown. We'll have kickoff when we come back. The 5A title game, Zachary, West Monroe on CST.
It begins with the ball. You see, a ball is not just leather and rubber. A ball is the seed that communities grow around. We're talking split-second moments that become indelible memories. It creates lifelong friendships. It's a reason for people to celebrate. A ball isn't just a ball. It's a life lesson. It's a tool you use to pursue your best. It's how you earn your greatest victories. How you learn to deal with failure. It's a test that you pass. It's a dream that you catch. It's a future you hold in your hands. It's not just a ball. Bada, the official ball of you.
Create fun and affordable memories for the entire family with the Pierre's Party Pack presented by Adventure Quest Laser Tag. Pelican's ticket packages are available for select home games and include 4 tickets, combo meals, an on-court free throw experience, and $60 in Adventure Quest Laser Tag gift cards. Our next Pierre's Party Pack night is Sunday, December 16th against the Miami Heat, with packages starting as low as $75. For more information on how you can do it big with the family, visit pelicans.com today.
The 2018 All-State Sugar Bowl LHSAA Prep Classic, presented by the New Orleans Saints on Cox Sports Television, is brought to you by the All-State Sugar Bowl, title sponsor of all LHSAA State Championship events. Kyle Ardwen, Keep Kyle, Secretary of State. Coca-Cola Zero. Want a taste of everything? Drink Coke Zero with real Coke taste and 0 calories. Roma Picks, official photographer of the LHSAA. The LHSAA Regional Healthcare Network, and by Gwen Collins Greenup. Elect number 3, Gwen Collins Greenup, Secretary of State.
Welcome back to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome for the Class 5A State Championship game. The West Monroe Rebels, the number 1 seed, 14-0, taking on the defending champs in 5A, the Zachary Broncos, who are the number 6 seed. Zachary 12-2. They've won 9 in a row. For more on this matchup, let's bring in the third member of our broadcast team. That's Carly McCord. Carly?
Thank you, Jeff. Well, you all mentioned this powerhouse defensive line at West Monroe, and Coach Brewerton at Zachary said that was the biggest thing that they prepared for. He said he knew that they were going to be strong and they were going to be tough, and that his offensive line really has to come to play, and they need to be really good up front and try to protect. That way they can establish a running game. He said if they can get in an offensive rhythm early, that they can have some success to where they can be comfortable throughout all 4 quarters. Jeff?
Thanks a lot, Carly. Zachary will need to get the run game going with running back R.J. Allen. A little bit more on that, but one of the best up-and-coming coaches in all of the state of Louisiana. You looked at David Brewerton, and then there's Jerry Arledge, who's in his 5th season as the head coach. His career record 70-10-1. That one tie was Mississippi. Mississippi's they still play the ties for whatever reason when they play the school from there, but he is trying to win a state championship at West Monroe for the first time since 2011. For the Rebels, this is their 16th state championship game appearance. And Coach Arledge really feels that this team, because of the great chemistry they have, this might be the best West Monroe team they've had in a long time.
And he's been there for a long time. He's a long-time defensive coordinator before he became the head coach under Don Schaus, legendary head coach at West Monroe for a very long time. So that's high praise because he's seen a lot of great defenses. He's had number 1 players in the country like Luke Sanders when he was at West Monroe before he went to LSU. So that's pretty high praise.
Let's take a look at the road to the Dome, brought to you by your Southern Quality Ford dealers. Look at that, 4 zeros across the board as far as their defense. That 53-0 win over Pineville in the first round, the 3rd largest margin of victory in West Monroe postseason history. Then they beat Captain Shreve 43-0. Blanked Ruston in the quarterfinals, holding the Bearcats to 180 total yards. And then in the semifinals, defeated John Ehret 28-0. And now let's take a look at the road to the Dome for the Zachary Broncos as a number 6 seed. They defeated Sulphur 42-17. They beat Hahnville 41-20. Keelan Brown had a great game, 260 yards passing. Chandler Whitfield had 8 catches for 212 yards. And then Zachary defeated Acadiana in the quarterfinals, where Keelan Brown rushed for another 3 touchdowns. And then a wild game against Destrehan in the semifinals, 67-57. The Broncos winning that game. So we might see a lot of points in this game, even though West Monroe has been so far perfect defensively in the playoffs. And last year, Zachary won the state championship as they defeated Puka Williams and the Hahnville Tigers. Darwishi Sanders and company dominated the Broncos 34-14. Here's Keelan Brown. He was the most outstanding player of the game in last year's 5A championship game as he rushed for 189 yards and a touchdown on 15 carries. He also threw a touchdown pass, 55 yards, as he hits Trey Shropshire there for the touchdown. And David Brewerton winning his 2nd state championship in 3 years. Now they're going to try to make it 3 out of 4 as they have become the best team, the best program in 5A as it stands now. West Monroe won the toss. They deferred. Zachary gets the ball, and here is our Wendy's opening kickoff, a short kick. And the Broncos just call a fair catch, and we'll see Keelan Brown and his Broncos offense first, averaging 39 points a game. The numbers for Keelan Brown, a junior who is starting for a third year. Very impressive, over 2,500 yards passing, and he's rushed for over 1,200 yards this season.
Classic strength on strength. Team that scored 67 points last week against a defense that's thrown up goose eggs the entire playoff run.
R.J. Allen is the running back to the right of Keelan Brown as they start here, and Keelan's going to want to throw right away. A little bit high on that pass. Sometimes it takes a while to get the nerves a little settled down here. Jaden Williams was the intended receiver. Chandler Whitfield is one of the best wide receivers in the state of Louisiana. We'll see if he can display that here tonight. Coach David Brewerton said he needs to have a big game. Chris Hilton's a very talented sophomore wide receiver who's also a great track star. And on the offensive line, Traylon Harris, Colby Matthews, and Caleb Johnson. Those are your three senior offensive linemen, and as Carly said, they have their work cut out for them tonight going up against this front seven. And there's Keelan Brown running right up the middle for 7 yards. Let's take a look at the Rebels starting defensive lineup. Andrew Gleason plays with so much passion. He's actually the grandson of Coach Arledge. Dalvin Hutchinson is committed to the Raging Cajuns. Malcolm Moore is a good football player. Noby Harris had a big interception last week for a touchdown. The linebackers are solid as well. Chandler Moncrief, a transfer from Sterlington, has been a big asset for them defensively. Here it is, 3rd down and 3. Keelan Brown got whacked, but the handoff went to R.J. Allen, and he gets the first down. Let's take a look at the hit they put on Keelan Brown. Wow. They were coming after him.
They pick up the first down, but get a shot on Brown, the quarterback there. But nice job of giving it to your running back. It was the right read. They go to the quarterback. When you're running the read option, that's what you do. You hand it off to the running back. You take the hit. You realize you're going to sacrifice that to pick up the first down.
Keelan Brown going back to pass. Here comes some more pressure, and he gets hammered again. Wow. Looked like a delayed blitz there. That's Chandler Moncrief. We were just talking about him, the transfer from Sterlington. When he was at Sterlington, he was playing on offense, and he didn't like it. His family moves into West Monroe. They put him in defense on 7-on-7s in the summer, and they find out that he can cover. He can also rush the passer. That's his 3rd sack of the season.
You're exactly right about the delay, right? He's following the jet sweep action. Once it passes him, he realizes the quarterback still has the ball. He adds into the blitz. Broncos were not ready for that big sack there in the game.
2nd down and 18. They set up the screen, and here it is. Buddy Davis runs away from one defender. Davis into West Monroe territory, and we'll have to see if that was enough for the first down. I think he's short by a couple of yards. He is. He'll be 3rd down and 2, but that was a well-executed play. The senior Davis, 29 catches now on the year, averaging over 11 yards a catch.
Bradley Williams had a shot at him there, wasn't able to get him on the ground. It's a really nice screen. To execute these kind of plays against a very disciplined defense, you have to do everything the right way. Zachary, one of the best screen teams in the entire state of Louisiana, picks up big yards. Now it's manageable 3rd and 2.
Handoff up the middle, and I think that is enough for a first down. He only needed 2 yards, and R.J. Allen was able to get it. During most of the season, R.J. Allen was sharing carries with Kyle Landry, but Kyle Landry is out for the year. And when Landry went down with an injury, Allen took his game to another level. Had 4 touchdowns against Hahnville in the 2nd round, and last week in the semifinal win over Destrehan, he had 3 touchdowns. So that's 7 of his 12 touchdowns on the year in those 2 games. Keelan Brown on a design run, and he is going to be thrown for a loss. Ethan Swanner there to make the tackle. A strong, intelligent player, him and Delvin Hutchinson. They are a good team as defensive tackles for the Rebels.
Yeah, that's twice already in this game that Swanner's been able to get his hands around the quarterback. Been in the backfield so far 3 times here in this early contest.
West Monroe is so quick up front. And that was a concern for Coach David Brewerton. 2nd down and 12. Brown pump fakes. He's got to run. And there's a yard. That's about it. I have watched a lot of games involving Keelan Brown. And we've only played 3 minutes and 20 seconds into this game. I have never seen a defense get after him as much as West Monroe is getting after him early in this game.
Never seen a defense be able to close the gap against Zachary like West Monroe's done so far in this contest, right? 9 times out of 10, we've seen him be able to get in that gap, get upfield, pick up a first down with his legs. Anytime there's gaps in this West Monroe defense, you better hurry up and get in them because they're going to close quickly.
3rd down and 11. Brown steps up, had time to throw there. Man wide open. There's Chandler Whitfield. Touchdown Broncos. That's what Zachary does. They hit you on the big play. And Whitfield once again finds the end zone.
Got to believe that's a total busted coverage, but credit Zachary for finding the open receiver. Look, if you're going to bust a coverage against us, one of the best offenses in the state of Louisiana, we're going to make you pay for it every single time, and they do there.
The thing is, Chandler Whitfield has had an amazing senior season. How he is that wide open, that can't happen, and that is the first touchdown, of course, scored on West Monroe in the postseason. And the extra point try is off the upright, as Zachary has had some issues with Ethan Patrick O'Brien. Not as accurate as Martel Fontenot, the kicker they've had during their 2 championship runs. Keelan Brown, his 28th touchdown pass of the season, and the Broncos have the early lead.
I'm Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin. For nearly a decade, my top priority has been protecting the integrity of Louisiana elections. Since my first day in office, I've put Louisiana voters first, and I always will. Louisiana leads the nation in election security. This office is too important to allow on-the-job training. I'm Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin. I'm asking for your vote to continue fighting for you.
People look up to our craftsmanship, Cribs Incorporated for every roof or sheet metal job. We're gonna do the best, and here's the proof. For more than 50 years, our name stood above the rest. Look up and you'll probably find Cribs Incorporated quality. People look up to our craftsmanship, Cribs Incorporated.
The Zachary marching band already playing a sweet tune in this one as they score. First team to score on West Monroe in the postseason. It comes on a long touchdown pass between Keelan Brown and Chandler Whitfield, 2 guys that have been playing at a very high level here ever since the second half of the season and now into the playoffs. 9 plays, 71 yards, and Zachary was 3 for 3 on 3rd down on that drive, including a touchdown pass to Chandler Whitfield. Short end over end kick, and that's going to go in the out of bounds and send it down to the field, and Carly McCord.
Yeah, Jeff, Coach Brewerton, he said coming into this matchup that one of the most incredible things about West Monroe is that they score on their first possession 80% of the time, and that they have a real advantage because of that. He said he knew his team really needs to score when they get those chances. Obviously, they listen. Jeff.
Thanks a lot, David Brewerton, talking to Ethan Patrick O'Brien. He misses the extra point and then does not execute the sky kick there, and he needs him to settle down. Garrett Conlon is your starting quarterback for the Rebels. There you look at his numbers. He's also rushed for nearly 800 yards. And he'll throw, and he'll go deep. He's got a man in stride. Big time play for the Rebels. down to the 25-yard line. That's Michael Hamburg, their big offensive threat on the perimeter, and he makes everyone know that number 16 has come here to play.
Okay, let me tell you, as somebody who played against West Monroe many times from 1999 to 2003, to see them opening up an offensive series with a pass down the field is a foreign concept to me. This is a team, man, that is built different than some of the West Monroe teams we've seen in the past that were triple option teams.
Coming, looking to throw again, now looking to tuck it and try to run, and he can't get out of there. Let's look at the West Monroe starting lineup, averaging 44 points a game. Their offensive coordinator is Glenn Hunt. Charles Norman is your starting running back. In for the injured Cameron Wright, who is expected to play in this game. Caden Pierce, Rylan Green, Jerry Day, Michael Hamburg, we just mentioned him. The offensive line, only one senior there, Victor Cutler, and then Ethan Boyer is 375 pounds, the starting center, number 55. There's a look at Ethan Boyer. Oh, getting driven back is Wes Brady, the 3-year starter for the Broncos, the heart and soul of the defense. Just made another solo tackle. He's got 103 solo tackles on the season, playing this year with a shattered wrist bone.
Jeff, I'm going to go ahead and assume we'll call Wes Brady and Maverick McClure's name about 10 times apiece in this first half.
You're
That's
right
just the kind of players that they are. They're always around the football. A year ago, we called their names a ton. They're just those kind of football players that are going to be involved on the defensive side of the football.
West Monroe wants a timeout as you look at the numbers on Wes Brady.
West Monroe, that's their first charge timeout.
Take a look at the starting lineup for the Zachary Broncos. Selders, Bell, Caleb Jackson, Cedric Brown, 6 sacks on the season for Brown. Maverick McClure, he has been battling an ankle injury, and he also had a concussion that kept him out earlier in the postseason. Sean Burrell is an absolute stud at cornerback. He's a junior, a guy that will be highly recruited his senior year. And Tyler Judson is an Ole Miss commitment who has 15 career interceptions for the Rebels. Or for the Broncos, excuse me. They're averaging or allowing 18 points a game. Obviously got shredded a little bit last week, giving up 57 points to a very good Destrehan team. LSU commitment John Emery actually did not play in the second half of that game as he injured his leg. Not serious, but just wasn't allowed to finish that game. They put a man in motion. Over the middle, wide open, off the hands of the receiver, Rylan Green. It was right there. The sophomore could not bring it down, maybe a little bit high, but certainly a catchable pass.
Yeah, this is a really good play call. You fake the now screen. Everybody loses sight of your tight end, streaking across the middle. Got to come up with that in a state championship game. He'll have another shot.
They'll try to field goal. Reese Altman is 7 for 7 this season. And that one looks pretty good. And it's through the upright, so the Rebels get some points after the drive stalls. He's now 8 for 8 on the year. Good weapon to have. 6-3. Zachary will get the ball when we come back. This is the Class 5A state championship game on CST.
Get your tickets now for the biggest game and the biggest New Year's party in New Orleans. For everything Sugar Bowl, go to allstatesugarbowl.org.
Hello, I'm Eddie Bonine, Executive Director of the LHSAA. I'd like to thank our regional healthcare partners for supporting our schools and student athletes. Our regional healthcare partners provide first-class medical coverage for the student athletes of Louisiana as they compete in this year's state championship events. For more partnership information, go to lhsaa.org. Thanks again to all of these groups for partnering with the LHSAA.
Class 5A state championship game in the city of New Orleans. Zachary and West Monroe. West Monroe used to making this trip to New Orleans over the years, but they haven't won one in a long time. This is the 16th state championship game appearance for the Rebels. With the Zachary Broncos, they are here for the third time in 4 years, and they've won their 2 previous trips here. Both teams score on their opening drive of the night, and now the Broncos will get the ball as Altman will kick it off again. Short, high kick, and he kicks it out of bounds. So both teams have kicked it out of bounds, trying to keep it away from dangerous return men. You got Chandler Whitfield for Zachary, and then you got
We have a kick out of bounds.
Michael Hammer
against West Monroe. Be
for
a
West
5-yard
Monroe.
penalty. The ball will be taken at the 35, first down.
It's always a danger you run into when you want to sky kick it away from a dangerous returner. But here's the negative part of it, right? You give them the ball on the 35-yard line. Sometimes you got to trust your coverage unit, right?
Right.
Kick it deep. Tell them go make a play.
Last season, Keelan Brown had a big 30-yard touchdown run in the win over the Rebels in that semifinal game. Swings it out. And nice run after the catch. Finishing it off was Chandler Whitfield for about 7 yards. Whitfield's explosive, electric with the ball in his hands. Just got a 21 on the ACTs. He's committed to Nicholls State, but now he's starting to get some more offers. ULM is one of them. Louisiana Tech is showing some interest. Had 315 all-purpose yards in that wild win over Destrehan in the semifinals.
I can tell you the rest of the Southland Conference hopes he doesn't end up at Nicholls.
It's not like Nicholls needs another weapon on their offense
That's
either.
Exactly right.
R.J. Allen with the run, and he's got the first down. One of the things that's been a staple for Zachary during their state championship runs is a solid run game. Early on in the season, the Broncos were really struggling to find that between R.J. Allen and Kyle Landry. They suffered losses earlier this year to Catholic High, David Brewerton's alma mater, a 1-point loss, and they played with U High for 2.5 quarters, and then Michael Hollins went off, and the U High Cubs beat Zachary. And in a highly anticipated matchup, Brown going deep again. Look at that! Another big-time play. Guess who? Chandler Whitfield. What a great break on the ball for the senior wide receiver. I told you, Jacob, he's the best wide receiver I've seen all season. He's already made a couple big plays, that time for 38 yards.
And if you're West Monroe, you've got 2 guys in the area. You realize who you're going against, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Yeah, right? He still gets open. He still makes the play. Just a special young player who's got a bright future ahead of him.
He's averaging 23 yards a catch, and that average is going up based on what he's done here already tonight. 3 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown. Brown fakes the pitch, runs right up the middle. Touchdown, Rebels. Or Broncos. Against this Rebels defense that had not allowed a point in the postseason until tonight. And Zachary has hit him twice quickly. A 16-yard run for Keelan Brown.
Yeah, we talked about the Rebels defense not giving up points. We also said they haven't played the Zachary Broncos yet either, right? They're talented everywhere. Obviously, the quarterback position. We talked about the receiver play. Offensive line gets movement there. You give Brown that much space, he's going to score.
Keelan Brown has the Broncos rolling offensively as he gets into the end zone. Right now, Brown ranked as the 25th best player in Louisiana in the class of 2020.
You want to talk about a formation here. Look, this is Whitfield right here, the receiver. You've got no guys right here on the end of the line of scrimmage. You've got an H-back and a sniff position here. I mean, this is a different formation. All eyes are going to be on Whitfield, though. Look, he's a receiver. He's in the backfield. Everybody watch the receiver in the backfield. Everybody goes out with him. Fake toss to him. Huge hole right there in the middle. That's what they're trying to do, right? You put Whitfield in the backfield. You have this different formation where you don't have anybody on the end of the line of scrimmage. You have an H-back kind of in a sniff technique there. Fake the toss, middle opens up. It's one thing the Zachary team can do. They're going to make sure offensively they have an advantage. Doesn't matter if it's with formation, with personnel, with a trick play, they're always going to have some type of an advantage against you. You just got to be sure that you're ready for it.
Ethan Patrick O'Brien, another short kick. This is taken by Hamburg at the 21. One man to beat, that's the kicker, and the kicker slows him up. How about that? Ethan Patrick O'Brien, the only man between Hamburg and the end zone, and somehow O'Brien brought him down, but the Rebels are in good shape right here.
It's a big answer. I will say, though, when you're in the NFL and the kicker tackles you, you've got dinner the next road trip. Lucky he's in high school. Won't have to pay for dinner for the entire 100 players West Monroe brought here to the Superdome. Still a good return. Nice job. Sets his offense up.
Well, now West Monroe, based on what Zachary's doing here offensively, they need to get 6, not 3 on this drive. From the 28-yard line. And they're going to run the football. This is Cameron Wright back from his injury. And Wright gets nailed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Wright has not been able to play in the playoffs because of a foot injury, but still a great regular season. Had 4 touchdowns in a game against Wassman, and he's averaging 7.5 yards a carry, and he gets 8 there. Glenn Hunt, the offensive coordinator, said that Cameron Wright is the best running back that West Monroe has had in 18 years. Some high praise there.
Yeah, there's no question about that. They've had a stable of running backs go through West Monroe.
2nd down and 2, and now they hand the football off here. And around the end, breaking tackles and heading into the end zone. That is a touchdown. That's Carson Jones from 20 yards out. Jones had 175 yards on the season, but he had a big game in the quarterfinals, and he gets West Monroe their first touchdown of the ball game here.
All right, Jeff, I'm not sure if you want to hear this, but we might finish this thing on Sunday morning with the way these offenses are playing. I mean, back and forth. Big answer by West Monroe there, right? Zachary goes down the field, scores. You're only able to get a field goal. They got the momentum. You get the big kickoff return. A couple plays later, you're in the end zone, 13-10. Let's go.
Well blocked up front there, Jacob. And then making a nice move was Carson Jones, the senior.
It's a really nice move. Puts his foot in the ground. Freezes the defender. Knighton right there to make the play. Unable to. Finds a way to the end zone. Nice individual effort to get into the end zone for the Rebels. Both offenses having a lot of success so far.
West Monroe has brought a ton of folks here. They, towards the end of when they were really at the end of their dynasty there with Don Shows as their head coach, it seemed like there were fewer and fewer people from West Monroe coming to the games, but it's become a thing again now for West Monroe to get to the Dome, and they want to take state here today. But the Rebels defense has to figure out a way to stop Zachary's offense. They haven't come up with that answer yet.
First possession, right, they held the Broncos to a couple third downs, but the Broncos were able to convert those third downs, continue to drive. Then they hit the big 40-plus yard pass to Whitfield. Got to get the Broncos off the field.
Reese Altman's kick is short, and it's covered up well by West Monroe's coverage team. Down to the field in Carly McCord.
Well, Jeff, you can really just see the chemistry from this West Monroe sideline exuding. And Coach Arledge said that if he had to pinpoint one thing different about this year's team, it is that chemistry. He said they're a great group of guys. They like each other. They get along well. And to him, that's one of the most important things in athletics, because when you're a member of the team, you're either all in or you're all out. And he said their kids are all in.
From the 29-yard line. Let's see what kind of adjustments they make. They go back to Allen here, and not much running room that time as the defensive line for West Monroe. Plugged it up very well. Last man off the pile there for the Rebels. That was Dalvin Hutchinson, the Raging Cajuns commitment, who has 32.5 tackles on the year. And look at that, the shirt's saying all in. That's what West Monroe, their motto has been this year. 2nd down and 8.
See if we see any pressure again from West Monroe.
Delayed blitz coming again. Keelan Brown spins away from it, but they finally track him down right at the line of scrimmage. Great pursuit by West Monroe. You don't want to get Keelan Brown in the open field. Malcolm Moore, who's been a good football player on that front four, makes the tackle.
Daniel Jordan there with the delayed blitz. That's the thing, though, right? They were fortunate there. They get him down, but you've got to be careful. You want to delay blitz the quarterback, you better be careful because Brown will hit a home run on you in a second if you give him a gap.
So watch Chandler Whitfield here. He's lined up on the slot on the right side of the formation. They were 3 for 3 on 3rd downs on their last drive. A delayed run here, but it's not going to get them the first down as R.J. Allen is stopped about 4 yards shy. And West Monroe's defense is forced to 3 and out. That's a little bit of a confidence builder as Malcolm Moore in on another tackle for the Rebels.
That was actually a big play by Malcolm Moore because the linebacker, Moncrief, actually got kind of out of position. Went 2 steps to the left when we saw the fake there. They come back to his right. Nice individual effort by Malcolm Moore to beat the block and stop that play where it started.
Sean Burrell's punt is going to go out of bounds as they kick it away from Michael Hamburg. And it'll be decent field position for the Rebels. Join Victor House, Scott Shanley, and our Saints insider Mike Neighbors tomorrow for all your Saints game day needs. We start our coverage at 10:30 a.m. with Saints game day as we get you ready for the black and gold matchup against the Bucks. Then at 10:30 p.m., tune in for post-game coverage on Saints Tonight as Deuce McAllister joins the group. And we bring you our exclusive one-on-one interview with Drew Brees, CST, your leader in Gulf South sports. That was a 31-yard punt there, Jacob.
You think the Saints want some revenge after Tampa Bay embarrassed them in Week 1 here in the Superdome?
I would think so. I would think so. Hopefully the weather isn't too rough there in Tampa Bay. Little razzle-dazzle from the Rebels. Common winds up, and it's incomplete. Caden Pierce, 2 men back there. Good job by Zachary. They didn't fall for it.
Pulled the old around the horn out the bag. We talked about the same play that Evangel ran against West Monroe in the 2002 state championship game. You see it here. He handed it off to the running back. He pitches to the receiver, gives back to the quarterback. You'd like to see, if you're going to run that play, you'd like to see your receiver, number 1 there, run a slant.
Yeah.
Take everybody on the defense away. Your running back is who gets lost track of, right? He's the guy who leaks out late. If you're going to run that play, the running back 9 times out of 10 is going to be the guy you want to throw it to.
Downfield here and incomplete for the intended receiver, Jerry Day. And it's 3rd and 10 now for the Rebels after a couple of incompletions. West Monroe, you're seeing them throw the football around here today, but they rushed for 415 yards in their quarterfinal win over Ruston when they beat the Bearcats 34-0. So they can run the football. So far, Garrett Kamen is 1 for 4. But for 44 yards, and they have yet to convert on 3rd down in this game. Zachary defensively coming into the contest have allowed teams to convert on 3rd down just 32% of the time. They'll run it on 3rd and long as well, but not much running room at all there for Cameron Wright as he is taken down on the play after a gain of 2.
That's a problem. Look, when you throw it on 1st and 2nd down, you have 2 incompletions. Well, all of a sudden you're sitting there, you're 3rd and 10. You're primarily a run football team. Not a lot of plays when you're a run team, 3rd and 10 to pick up a 1st down. I like being aggressive. I like the trick play. You just got to remember, if you do a 3 and out, you're giving it back to a very explosive Broncos offense.
Peyton Todd is the punter for the Rebels, averaging 36 yards a punt. Gets off a really high punt. Whitfield's got a call, fair catch, and he grabs it at the 24-yard line. Broncos up by 3. They got the ball back after a 39-yard punt. Just 63 seconds left to go in the first quarter. going back-to-back in Class 5A history. Hasn't been done much. Acadiana, the last school to do it, 2013 and 14 with Ted Davidson. Destrehan, 2007 and 8, and then some school up in, was that Evangel Christian? Something like that? Who's that?
It's the glory days, man. It's the glory years. Washed up now, so I'm glad to see a graphic.
Pass out to Whitfield, turns the corner, and he gets about 5 yards. Taylor Milton on the tackle. No, check that. It wasn't Taylor Milton. It was Tanner Zordon on the tackle, who's played a lot last year and been the starter this season for the Rebels. Tony Osborne is the defensive coordinator for the Rebels. Second down and 4. That West Monroe defense had 4 interceptions last week in the win over John Ehret. Keelan Brown will run. Keelan Brown towards the sidelines has the first down.
Design quarterback run there with Keelan Brown. So athletic, can make every throw on the football field. This kid's special talent. He's going to play for a very long time. West Monroe has got to come up with an answer, right? We saw the first series, West Monroe was swarming the quarterback. They were everywhere, getting a couple hits on them. You can only do that so long with a guy like Keelan Brown. He is going to get his plays. You just try to minimize them as much as you can.
And David Brewerton will tell you he's not going to get rattled. He's already won a state championship. He's won games in tough venues like Destrehan, West Monroe. So even though he got popped a couple of times early on in this game, it wasn't going to really affect him as R.J. Allen gets a good run on first down for about 8. And that brings up second down and 2. Coming up to the end of the first quarter. Feeling a deep pass here, Jacob. You got it second down and 2. You're near midfield. First quarter winding down. Might want to try to hit him with something big. Instead, it's a little slant pattern, and it's going to go for a long way. Jaden Williams makes the grab and turns upfield. And it results in a big play for the Zachary Broncos.
Look, we talked leading up to this game off air about how quickly the Broncos could score, right? They can hit a quick hitter, and it doesn't have to be a 60-yard bomb. We saw here, they'll throw a slant, they'll run after the catch, and they'll just continue to make big plays. It could be a quarterback draw, a 3-step slant. We saw a busted coverage that they're going to find every single time. Broncos offense, man, they can hit you from multiple ways.
And that's the end of our first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter.
The Zachary Broncos took a bit of a right hook early on in this game, and then Chandler Whitfield making a big touchdown. West Monroe's had some big plays offensively themselves. We got a good one going on here in the Superdome on CST. Busy night on Bourbon Street tonight with the Zachary Broncos here inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, leading West Monroe in the Class 5A state championship game. From the 12-yard line and on the carry and going nowhere is R.J. Allen as the Rebels defense comes up with a nice stop there. Let's look at our first quarter stats. So Zachary's on pace for like 800 total yards tonight against what many thought was against the West Monroe defense that was as good as any in the state, and trust me, they are, but Zachary's offense is just that good. When they're clicking, they are tough to stop.
Yeah, when you're getting one-play first downs, 10-plus yards on 6 different occasions in the first quarter, you're having a big night so far.
Second down and 10. They go back to Allen, and not much happening there either, only a gain of a yard. But it doesn't seem like when Zachary is third and long that they're not that concerned.
No, a lot of teams have 0 pages of third and long plays. Zachary's got about 40 of them, right? I mean, look, there's no down and distance where you feel like the Broncos can't convert.
They're 3 for 4 on third downs as they are inside the Cribs Incorporated red zone. Whitfield is lined up on the slot to the left of Brown. Here comes some pressure. They go the opposite way of Whitfield. Jump ball. There's a flag down. It's a touchdown right now. Chris Hilton made the grab, but let's see what the flag is all about. I think the touchdown's going to stand.
The results of the play is a touchdown. We have holding against the defense. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Chris Hilton won the high jump in Class 5A, and he can get up, even with a defender all over him.
We talked about it. 3rd and long doesn't phase this offense. In a one-on-one matchup, there was no doubt where they were going with the football. It didn't even look to the left side of the football field.
Whistle and flag before the snap. Our officiating crew is from the Lafayette Association. John Orton's our referee.
Against the defense, half the distance, retry.
Weird observation, Jacob. We have seen a lot of penalties on PATs this weekend. I'm not sure what the deal is with that.
You're exactly right. We have.
And the extra point is good. A lot of weapons for the Zachary offense. Who would have thought that they would already have 20 points on the scoreboard early in the second quarter against this tough West Monroe defense? We'll be back after this on CSN.
Joe Brown Park has always been a kind of haven, but the storm left it in a mess. Kids that don't have a safe place to play and go to end up in trouble. After Katrina, I didn't know if Joe Brown would ever come back, but it did, and today its facilities are second to none. We're developing kids that will become champions in our community, in school, in business, and in life.
Coaching basketball is a lot of hard work and a lot of long hours. You put on many different hats. You're a teacher, you're a coach, you're a counselor, you're just everything. And I love my players. I like to see them win and lose and cry and just get back up and fight. And there is no ultimate outcome to shoot for. It would just be playing a game. Athletics and sports is more than just basketball. It's more than just a game. It's a part of life.
Zachary watching their work on offense as they have taken it to West Monroe early on in this game. 7 plays, 75 yards, 2 minutes and 28 seconds off the clock. And then the touchdown pass to Chris Hilton, his 9th touchdown catch. And Zachary, other than one possession where they went 3 and out, they have been really good. Now they get to kick off from the 50-yard line. The way this game, what we're seeing right here, this reminds me a lot of 2015 when Zachary won their first state championship over John Ehret. That Patriots defense was considered the best in the state. It had Michael Divinity on there. It had the kid that ended up going to Arkansas. The name escapes me at this moment. Deshaun Harris, who's I think Arkansas's leading tackler this season. Let's get to this play here first at the 1-yard line. Had a decent return here for West Monroe, but then it gets shut down at the 15-yard line as Dejarian Jones comes up and makes the hit. So that John Ehret defense was really something special. And Zachary was making their first state championship game appearance. They had Lindsey Scott, who ended up winning Mr. Football in the state of Louisiana that year, and of course signed to play at LSU and is now at Missouri. But Zachary torched that John Ehret defense. It was a 13-12 game at halftime, but Zachary in the second half poured it on and won 46-12. And this game is kind of having that feel, other than that game was close at halftime, and it took a while for Zachary to really get rolling. Here, Zachary has been rolling right from the start. But West Monroe is got their big plays going as well.
Yeah, West Monroe's offense has really put up yardage. That's why we kind of went back and said the drop touchdown pass was going to be key, because if you're going to play with Zachary, you're going to trade scores, you've got to have touchdowns, not field goals. So far, the West Monroe offense hasn't been stopped either.
Charles Norman, who has filled in for Cameron Wright, who's been injured and has had a great run through the playoffs, gets to carry there. You see he's averaging close to 10 yards. 1st and 10 here for the Rebels at the 42-yard line. They want to run the option again, but not happening there. Coming in and making a play behind the line of scrimmage is Charles Selders, his 18th tackle for a loss this season.
You can see the game plan for West Monroe now offensively, right? They came out, they were shotgun for the first couple series, giving the ball back to Zachary quickly. Well, you know what? We're West Monroe. We can still run the option. See him try to get some time off this clock while continuing to move forward with this drive. Garrett Common played in the 4th quarter of last year's semifinal game against Zachary and actually sparked a rally for him when they got down 20-7. The pitch and another good strong run here. This is Cameron Wright. And Wright gets close to the first down marker. He'll be a couple yards short. It will bring up 3rd down. Jerry Arledge would tell you there's not much of a difference between Cameron Wright and Charles Norman. Norman got a little bit behind Wright because he plays baseball, so he missed spring football, so Wright got the edge. And Wright started playing really well at the beginning of the season, but he thinks talent level, Cameron Wright and Charles Norman are pretty much neck and neck. 3rd down and 2. They're 0 for 2 on 3rd downs. This is a little old school West Monroe offense, but I don't know if they got the first down. It will depend on the spot. I think they're going to be about a half a yard short. Leading the charge, there's Maverick McClure, the son of former LSU great and Atlanta Falcon great, Todd McClure. Yeah, I think you're right.
You got to go for it, though. You're down by 10. Your defense right now not stopping Zachary. You got to keep up with what Zachary's doing offensively. And they got the first down. Caden Pierce, who does a little bit of everything for this Rebels team. He's the backup quarterback, plays H-back, fullback, picks up the first down. Had 2 touchdowns in the win over Ruston in the quarterfinals. And the Rebels keep the chains going here. And it's 1st and 10 at the 42. Under 8 minutes to go before halftime. Pierce got another carry just for a couple, though, that time on the dive.
They've been all under center so far this drive. As we mentioned, they came out shotgun, had a plan to throw the football. Said, you know what, let's slow this thing down a little bit. Let's keep that Broncos offense off the field. They haven't stopped us yet. Put together a long drive, take some time off the clock.
From the 41-yard line now. Again, another just dive play, basically. They figure right here in this spot. Now, it's definitely 4-down territory, so you get a few yards here. I think they want to try to control the tempo here. As you mentioned, keep that Broncos offense off the field. Coach Jerry Arledge calls his quarterback a born leader. Does a lot of intangibles for them. Taking over for Slade Bolden, who's now at Alabama. West Monroe 0 for 3 on 3rd downs tonight. This is 3rd and 6. Here's the pitch. There's a flag down. Good contact made there by Taylor Milton for the Broncos. Let's see what the penalty is. Probably against West Monroe.
In the area of holding. See if the Broncos decline it here, make it 4th down. That's what they're trying to figure out now. If they want to decline it, make it 4th down, back them up, make the field longer.
West Monroe has been throwing the football more this year. Last year they kind of ran that Auburn offense with Slade Bolden.
We have holding on the offense, number 81, 10 yards penalty, repeat third down.
So Ryland Green gets hit with the holding, and now it's no longer 4-down territory. They got to make a big play here on third down. They got to get to the Zachary 32-yard line. Check with me on the sidelines. Plenty of time on the play clock, 15 seconds and counting. In the backfield with Common is Norman, Charles Norman. Pressure coming. Down goes Common. Driven to the turf here at the Dome. That's Cedric Brown. 7 sacks on the season for the sophomore. And West Monroe has to punt the football back to a dangerous Zachary offense, a loss of 8.
Yeah, look, normally your quarterback's going to step up, deliver the throw, but you cannot get beat inside. You can get beat outside all day long and recover. Your quarterback can step up. If you get beat inside, there's nowhere to go for the quarterback, right? Put him in no man's land. He's not able to get any kind of throw off.
Peyton Todd, another high punt. He's been outstanding for the Rebels this season, and Whitfield has to call fair catch again at the 25-yard line. 5:17 to go before halftime. A big defensive possession coming up for the Rebels. They're down by 10. They can't fall behind any farther. We'll find out what happens when we come back.
I'm Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin. For nearly a decade, my top priority has been protecting the integrity of Louisiana elections. Since my first day in office, I've put Louisiana voters first, and I always will. Louisiana leads the nation in election security. This office is too important to allow on-the-job training. I'm Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin. I'm asking for your vote to continue fighting for you.
People look up to our craftsmanship, Cribs Incorporated. People look up to our roofing, we craft each job with care. Shingles, metal, slate, or tile, the quality's beyond compare. Raise your standards, set them high. You choose Cribs and here is why. People look up to our craftsmanship, Cribs Incorporated.
David Brewerton wearing black as he normally does. He also took Livonia to the state championship game. That's where he cut his teeth as a head coach. Catholic High grad. And he's got a power there at Zachary. Keelan Brown's got to get out of the pocket. Just going to run it, and he'll run out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Chasing him down was Tanner Zordon as Keelan Brown got out of there. Right now, the biggest offer Keelan Brown has is from Baylor University. He's got the same problem as Lindsey Scott. He's only 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And David Brewerton doesn't understand why they can't grow a quarterback at Zachary taller than 6. But any coach in high school football would love to have a Lindsey Scott and a Keelan Brown. He's only joking about that, of course. Well, maybe slightly joking. Second down and 10. With 5:10 to go before halftime. Keelan keeps it. Made a nice decision there on the read option. The ball comes out, but he was down. It's going to be a first down for the Broncos. But Keelan Brown's a good baseball player, too. That might be in his future. And LSU fans, you might want to close your ears on this one. He has visited Tuscaloosa. But a guy who could be drafted and play professional baseball. But he's got offers from Tech, ULM, Tulane. And I think those offers will continue to come in based on him improving as a passer. Let's see him throw here on first down. That ball was batted. Good pressure on him again by that Rebels front four.
There's a guy that got drafted in the Major League Baseball draft this year. Just won the Heisman Trophy tonight. Kyler Murray, how about that? Get drafted, top 10 picks in the Major League draft, and you win the Heisman Trophy in football.
That was Dalvin Hutchinson, who lost 25 pounds in the offseason, and he has improved his quickness, his endurance. he started noticing that Ethan Swainer, his fellow defensive tackle, was slimming up and saw what it was doing for him. He took it a lot more serious in the offseason, and he's become a much better player. Brown keeps it on the read option. There is a flag down. This looks like it's going to be holding on Zachary. And what could have been a first down looks like will be taken away from the Broncos.
Yeah, just 1 second too long. Right there, you see grab jersey. It's not a lot, but it's enough for the defender.
We have holding on the offense, number 4, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
We run this play back here to show you exactly what we're talking about, right? You've got the first down. You feel good about it. You're blocking right there. Right here is the moment where you get called for the holding. You see the hand right there on the edge. They're going to call that. You already had the edge. You had the first down. You've got to let go. When the defensive back starts going towards the ball carrier, you have to let go. They're going to see jersey, and they're going to throw the flag every time.
2nd and 11. Let's see if they bring some pressure. Here they come. Keelan Brown's got to get away from it. Somehow does. Brown on the run to the 40-yard line, and that's where he's tackled as he gets about 4. Down to the field and Carly McCord.
Yeah, Jeff, well, Coach Brewerton said this game is different from when they were here last year, but the experience that they gained from playing in this building is huge. He wanted to take that fact and really apply it today. He said they've played here for 3 times in the past 4 years, and they know that there are a lot of teams that don't get the chance to do that. He said a lot of those teams that don't do well in the Superdome, though, are the ones who are affected by being in the Superdome. And he said that last year's game may not give you any points in this year's, but it does give you a refreshing feeling walking back in here knowing that you played here before.
Third down and 8. Zachary's been really good on 3rd down tonight. They go deep. Single coverage. It was caught, but I think he was out of bounds, and he was, as that was Chris Hilton. And West Monroe's defense, a minor victory there, as they're going to force Zachary to punt.
Tell you what, West Monroe is extremely lucky. The receiver had at least 2 steps on the defensive back. Brown not able to get enough air on that ball, didn't keep it in bounds as well. West Monroe could have had a big hitter go the other way there. Very fortunate the quarterback doesn't make the throw.
Talking with Drew Nettles there on the sideline, one of the assistant coaches. Sean Burrell's punt, look out, line drive to Hamburg. Hamburg got up to the 38-yard line as Zachary did a good job covering what could have been a dangerous situation there. Nice tackle by the Broncos' Taylor Milton. It's a 32-yard punt as the Zachary marching band getting ready to perform here at halftime. The final game of the 2018 All-State Sugar Bowl LHSAA Prep Classic presented by the New Orleans Saints. Been a great weekend of high school football, and we're looking for a great conclusion here between West Monroe and Zachary. From the 38-yard line, the Rebels will operate. And they go back to the ground, but nothing happening there. Charles Selders and the Broncos defensive line bringing down Norman right at the line of scrimmage.
We'll see what philosophy West Monroe comes out in this series. Kind of gone back and forth between more of a shotgun, pass-oriented offense, and they go back to the more traditional West Monroe high backfield and the triple option.
Jerry Arledge, as you mentioned, a defensive mind, so he's trying to figure out what his defense can do better to stop Zachary. Here's a good run by Charles Norman, who breaks it. Norman all the way up to the 36-yard line. And a big first down for the Rebels.
Tell you what, Caden Pierce, the fullback, number 1, has done a good job so far tonight. You'll see him come in your picture there, blocking downfield, getting his guy 10, 15 extra yards by getting to that second level, getting to the defensive back, just getting his hands on him. And we saw earlier a receiver for Zachary not be able to let go of that defensive back. Pierce does a good job of realizing when he's pulling away, pulls his hands away, doesn't get called for a holder.
Norman is a senior and has had a big postseason, as I mentioned earlier. Back to the ground. Minimal gain that time, probably just a yard. Hunter Bell, one of the defenders there for the Broncos.
Jeff, for West Monroe, you've got 2 minutes left and counting, right? Keep the ball in your possession. Either you score or nobody scores because you get the ball to start the second half. That's why you don't see West Monroe in a hurry. There's no shot unless it's a turnover that they're going to give this ball back to Zachary unless Zachary has to use some of those timeouts.
2nd down and 9. Hamburg lined up in the slot. Watch him, number 16. Instead, they go to the ground. Nice run there by Charles Norman. How nice is it? Your star running back, Cameron Wright, gets hurt, and you turn to Norman, and he really did a great job filling in for Wright. Rushed for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first-round playoff game against Pineville, and then in the quarterfinals had another big night, 173 yards rushing against Ruston. But that's what depth will do for you, and here he's having a good game. 6 carries for 58 yards. 3rd down and a long 3 on the jet sweep. Turning the corners, Hamburg. He's got the first down. Flag down, and it might be against West Monroe.
I think you get it for a block in the back here. Oh, yeah. It's going to be a block in the back. We watch the replay after they make this call.
Oh, man, yeah, pretty obvious, too, on Jerry Day.
We have block in the back against the offense, number 2. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
All right, we'll show you right here. Receiver right there is going to block in the back. It's not even needed, right? You got all this space right here for your running back. As we play this tape, not even needed. Look, he barely touches him. He might even just put his fingertips on his back, but they're going to call that every time. Is it a penalty? You could debate it, right? But they're going to call that every time because of the way it looks. The optics of it are you were touching him in the back. I don't even think he affected the defensive back, but you can't put yourself in that situation.
And Jerry Day is a good blocker. Made a mistake there. 3rd down and 8. Also, Caden Pierce went down with an injury during that play. And going down there is counted as they got to him. Outstanding pressure again by Zachary. Caleb Jackson. He's been another one of these 3-year starters for the Broncos, his 9th sack of the season. And that will bring up 4th down.
Surprised you're not seeing timeout called here by Zachary. With it being 4th down, clock winding down, you've got all 3 of your timeouts.
West Monroe actually is going to call a timeout, I think. Or they wanted to. But it's 4th down and long. They can.
I got it. We have a timeout. West Monroe, that's a second charge timeout. Please reset the clock to 3 seconds. 3 seconds. 4th down.
Well, you just heave one up into the end zone here and hope for a prayer.
I think so. Look, 3 seconds left. Put one in the end zone, see if you can steal some points away. Knowing you get the ball to start the second half. That's why I was so surprised Zachary didn't use a timeout there with the way their offense has been playing. They say you get it back with 20 seconds left. You get a touchback here on the 20.
The thing is, West Monroe doesn't have a lot of tall, wide receivers. So if you throw one up, I think Zachary's got a little bit more height in their defensive secondary.
If I'm Zachary, I bring pressure here as well.
3 sacks for the Broncos so far in this game. Both teams have really done a nice job getting after the quarterback. The thing is, for Zachary, Keelan Brown can get away from that pressure.
That's exactly right.
Should be our final play of the first half. And here comes the pressure again. And he's going to go down. What a defensive effort here by the Broncos. 4 sacks in the first half. And they are galloping off the field. Caleb Jackson playing in his final high school game. He wants another state championship ring. 20 minutes before we kick it off again in the second half. And the Broncos made a statement in the first 24 minutes of this contest as they marched up and down the field against a very strong West Monroe defense. David Brewerton talked about, from his point of view, Jacob, in that what is going to happen with his offense if they get punched in the mouth by this West Monroe defense and say they go into the locker room and don't score any points. He was wondering how his team would react. Well, the shoe is on the other foot.
Yeah.
West Monroe, how will they react after their defense gives up 20 points, their first 20 points they've given up in the entire postseason?
If you're West Monroe, you've got some adjustments to be made defensively. You've got to stop the Broncos. You get the ball back to start the half. You've actually had success offensively. You've moved the ball. You've had a couple nice drives. You've got to get points coming out of this second half. You score, you make it 20-17, you give them the ball back, you make those adjustments. We're talking about a different ball game. If you go 3 and out, you give the Broncos the ball back, and all of a sudden you're looking up and it's 27-10. Look out.
Let's go down to David Brewerton and Carly McCord.
Coach, West Monroe tried to come in right there and score right before the half. Big showed up for your defense. Can you just talk about their performance right there?
Yeah, big series right there. You know, they got down in the red zone right there, and we were able to keep them out and get a sack on the last 2 plays. That's really big for us right now.
Keelan Brown playing like Keelan Brown, really doing some great things. What's working for him?
I think he's kind of letting the game come to him a little bit. I don't think they're rushing him very hard in passing situations because they don't want him to get out of the pocket. We understand that. It's actually going to give us about an extra second to throw the football, so we're going to take a look at some of those things in the second half.
Coach, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Jeff, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Carly. Thanks, Coach Brewerton. Great night in New Orleans. Zachary Broncos trying to return back to East Baton Rouge Parish with another championship trophy. Halftime coming up from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome on CST.
Create fun and affordable memories for the entire family with the Pierre's Party Pack presented by Adventure Quest Laser Tag. Pelican's ticket packages are available for select home games and include 4 tickets, combo meals, an on-court free throw experience, and $60 in Adventure Quest Laser Tag gift cards. Our next Pierre's Party Pack night is Sunday, December 16th against the Miami Heat with packages starting as low as $75. For more information on how you can do it big with the family, visit pelicans.com today.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Dude, subs.
Hot dogs.
Chili dog.
No, Dodger dog.
It's gotta be crawfish.
Now you're talking. Burgers.
7-layer dip. Ribs. No contest.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice cold Coke.
Of course.
Football and Coke. Come on.
It's got to be Coke.
Game day.
Race day.
Calls for Coke. You know it.
Grab yourself a Coke.
It's tailgate 101.
It begins with the ball. You see, a ball is not just leather and rubber. A ball is the seed that communities grow around. We're talking split-second moments that become indelible memories. It creates lifelong friendships. It's a reason for people to celebrate. A ball isn't just a ball. It's a life lesson. It's a tool you use to pursue your best. It's how you earn your greatest victories. How you learn to deal with failure. It's a test that you pass. It's a dream that you catch. It's a future you hold in your hands. It's not just a ball. Baden, the official ball of you.
The 18 All-State Sugar Bowl LHSAA Prep Classic, presented by the New Orleans Saints on Cox Sports Television, is brought to you by Wendy's, kickoff sponsor of the Prep Classic.
Welcome back to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, where we are at the half, where Zachary is on top of West Monroe 20-10, and I have the pleasure of being joined by the principals of both of these fine schools, Mr. Tim Jordan at Zachary and Mr. Shelby Ainsworth at West Monroe. And congratulations to both of your schools for being in the Dome here again. I know that you all have both been here before, just a year ago for you all, and that's where I want to start. Great football programs run by great coaches. What can you say about these teams and how proud you are of them for getting back here this year?
Well, we are extremely proud of our team this year. You know, we lost some key players last year, but the younger kids stepped up, and we're back and glad to be. We certainly respect West Monroe and look forward to the second half.
Yeah, West Monroe, they've been here a few times. I think it was 2 years ago, back in 2016. They made their last appearance at the Dome. Talk about what it feels like to be back here.
Well, it's a great feeling to be back. You know, one of our incentives is these guys beat us in the semis last year to reach the championship. So, and look, we really respect these guys. They do an awesome job at Zachary High School. So we really respect our opponent this year, and we're going to give it our best this second half.
You know what? When I think of West Monroe, I think of high school football. It's a big thing that the town really comes together with on Friday nights to go see the game under those lights. What does it feel like to be a principal of a program that just really brings the community together like that through athletics?
Well, I'm a proud principal. You know, our school, our kids, our community, and you can hear our community support, you know, behind us over here. And it's just, I'm proud to be there.
I absolutely understand why, and I know you're proud to be the principal of your school too. And not only do you all have athletics, but academics is a big thing in Zachary. Did you just tell me off camera, #1 in the state of Louisiana in academics?
Yes, ma'am, that's right. We're #1, 14th year in a row, and we're proud of that. And that's why we're here. You know, it's for academics, and we also enjoy success in athletics and extracurricular. Look, we always talk about if they're keeping score, we want to win. So we're very competitive in Zachary.
Absolutely. And I know your guys, this football team likes to do a lot of community service. And if you could just share the story, I'm sure you're familiar with it, how the players went and visited one of the biggest West Monroe fans of all time in a nursing home recently.
Yeah, a lady, one of our biggest supporters who is bedridden, and about 11 of our football players took it upon themselves to go visit her, present her with a signed helmet, and it made her day. She wouldn't let go of that helmet.
You know, people who went to West Monroe, people who go there, they just love it forever, till the day that they die. You have so many returning alumni and community members that really support your school. What does it mean to have that support?
Everything, and I think one reason we have that is because we're so proud of what we have to offer, the experiences the kids have in academics, athletics, the arts, and it's a well-rounded program. And our kids work; they're grateful, they're respectful, they're patriotic, and just again, we're proud to be here.
And Coach, I'm sorry, and Principal, the thing is with Zachary, it seems like this program has always been a big staple in the community. The football just brings everyone there. Like same thing with West Monroe, Friday Night Lights. They all come, and then Coach Brewerton comes in. He had big shoes to fill, but he's done a really nice job. What can you say about him?
Well, you know, he has, and it all starts with our community. You're right. You know, that's the community supported this school forever. And, you know, a few years ago, we had a chance to hire a football coach, and we were thankful that David Brewerton applied. And what's great about David Brewerton is he's a good man, and he when the athletes leave his program, they leave better people, and that's what he's about. The person first, the student athlete first, and football player second.
We appreciate it. Once again, congratulations to both your programs. Good luck in the second half, and thank you for your time. When we come back, more from the LHSAA Football Prep Classic live from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome here on Cox Sports Television.
Greetings, I'm Gwen Collins-Greenough, the People's Candidate for Louisiana Secretary of State. My experience, dedication, and commitment to returning integrity and ethics to the Office of Secretary of State means I'm ready to hit the ground running from day one. The Office of Secretary of State should be accessible, informative, and accountable. I'm asking you to vote number 3, the experienced candidate with the qualifications to get the job done.
With Cox high-speed internet, you get access to super-fast in-home Wi-Fi to power all your devices and do the things you love online. And now, when you're traveling, you have free access to the nation's largest Wi-Fi network with over 500,000 hotspots, so you can stay connected in places such as New York City, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Phoenix, and many more. Learn how with the Cox Discover More video series at cox.com/learn.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid. Your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-921-0563.
Independence U, for an independent you.
Call 1-800-921-0563.
A look at Canal Street here in New Orleans as we are at halftime of the Class 5A state championship game as the Zachary Broncos lead the West Monroe Rebels 20-10. We bring you back inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Jeff Palermo along with Lee Brakeem, who has been with us the entire weekend, the publisher for Louisiana Football Magazine, LAFootballMagazine.com. Some terrific talent in this Class 5A state championship game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about West Monroe first. There's a lot of guys that are part of this team that have a chance to move on to the next level. A couple of the guys that I really like, Chandler Moncrief, and then Ethan Swainer, who's had a big game already in this contest.
Yeah, the big, thick Mike linebacker tonight, you notice. Chandler Moncrief missed most of the year with an injury. He wasn't even in the game I'll watch this year. He's 245, 6 feet. He was a fullback that they transferred to linebacker. He came from Sterlington, who played in the Dome.
Yeah.
And then Ethan Swainer is a 6 foot, 270 D tackle that can go 1AA, I believe. He showed his quick feet on that run. He made a loss on Keelan Brown early in the game.
And then on the flip side, there's a lot of talent on Zachary. What do you think of Chandler and Whitfield?
For Zachary, number 19 is amazing.
Yep.
He's 5'8.5", 160. He's an athlete, and I think, Jeff, there's a home for him because he is a playmaker. And the coaches at Zachary told me, and they probably told you this, come playoff time, this guy he owns it.
Yep, he does. He certainly does. Another guy, as we take a look at a highlight here, Keelan Brown throwing one deep to Chandler Whitfield on that first touchdown pass. Sean Burrell, a cornerback. The guy's got a lot of speed. This kid's going to be highly recruited next season.
Well, against Hahnville in the playoffs, had 2 incredible interceptions.
Yeah.
Has over 5 on the season. He's a big-time track guy, but he's a football guy that runs track. I think he's one of the top DBs in the country for next year.
Certainly is. Well, speaking of some of the top players in the state of Louisiana, we saw 5 of them here in Louisiana. When you look at the 24/7 Sports top 10 players in the state of Louisiana, 5 of them played here this weekend. Derek Stingley, no doubt about it, the number 1 player in the state.
Yeah, he's a 6'1" version of Tyrann Mathieu to me. I mean, this guy makes plays. He plays man. He intimidates receivers. He baits quarterbacks. He returns kicks and punts. We have 7 touchdowns on punt returns this year. He's amazing. He's going to give LSU a punt returner again. They didn't have that this year, and a kickoff returner. And where do you put him, Jeff? He could play wide out and corner at LSU.
I know he wants to play cornerback, at least focus initially on defense. Dante Starks is a really good linebacker for John Ehret.
I saw Dante play in person a couple of times. He runs a legitimate 4.45 at 220, 6'1", and he reacts. And you give him to Aranda's going to make him obviously a superstar as an outside backer, the Devin White spot or outside.
LSU fans, don't forget about Tyrion Davis. You kind of forget about him because he committed to LSU so early. And there was so much focus on John Emery, especially when he was committed to Georgia and then decommitted. But Tyrion Davis is a really good running back. I know we saw Michael Hollins with U-High, and I think he's terrific. And he would be great at LSU too. But right now, when you look at LSU's recruiting class, they really do have 2 really good running backs next season coming in with John Emery, Tyrion Davis, and something that they lacked this year. They got running backs coming into the program that have that home run capability, which they were kind of missing this year.
Well, the one thing that Ty Davis is going to supply, and Jacob knows this playing running back, and Emery, is the burst.
Yes.
Their burst, they're going to hit the hole when the hole is open. It's not going to close, and they're going to have big runs. Emery's, to me, a Justin Vincent from Destrehan, whereas Ty Davis is a great big power runner with speed. When he gets back to his sophomore form, when he's 225 in shape, 6'2", he runs 4.45, and he's going to be a phenomenal back. I've told him he runs a lot like the L.A. Rams starting running back from Georgia.
Todd Gurley.
I said, once you get back to your sophomore season of losing maybe a few pounds, letting Moffitt get with you, you're going to be phenomenal. We're talking upside.
Yeah.
Upside, I think Ty Davis can be as good as he wants to be.
Lee, thanks a lot for your analysis all weekend. We really appreciate it. And, of course, even though the offseason of high school football is right around the corner, keep checking LA Football Magazine for some great profiles, and especially with the big signing days coming up here later this month and again in February. LAFootballMagazine.com is going to have a lot of great information on some of these guys that not only will be signing at LSU, but some of the other schools as well, even on the FCS level. Thanks a lot, Lee.
Yeah, not a place I'd want to be this weekend, but the Dome. Enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right. Okay, we'll continue with more halftime analysis here from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The West Monroe Marching Band, over 200 members as part of that band. We'll be back after this here on CST.
Hello, I'm Eddie Bonine, Executive Director of the LHSAA. I'd like to thank our regional healthcare partners for supporting our schools and student athletes. Our regional healthcare partners provide first-class medical coverage for the student athletes of Louisiana as they compete in this year's state championship events. For more partnership information, go to lhsaa.org. Thanks again to all of these groups for partnering with the LHSAA.
Coaching basketball is a lot of hard work and a lot of long hours. You put on many different hats. You're a teacher, you're a coach, you're a counselor, you're just everything. And I love my players. I like to see them win and lose and cry and just get back up and fight. And there is no ultimate outcome to shoot for. It would just be playing a game. Athletics and sports is more than just basketball. It's more than just a game. It's a part of life.
I love my students. I knew I wanted to be a teacher all my life. I want to give back to kids that grew up in the same environment that I grew up in. Teach for America brought me to New Orleans to work with kids who need guidance. You know, I was in your shoes where going home, you don't know what was going to happen. I say to my kids, stay positive. You can make it out. Education can take you wherever you want to go. You just have to believe.
The 2018 All-State Sugar Bowl LHSAA Prep Classic, presented by the New Orleans Saints on Cox Sports Television, is brought to you by the All-State Sugar Bowl, title sponsor of all LHSAA state championship events. Cribs Incorporated. People look up to our craftsmanship. Coca-Cola Zero. Want a taste of everything? Drink Coke Zero with real Coke taste and 0 calories. Roma Picks, official photographer of the LHSAA. The LHSAA Regional Healthcare Network, and by your Southern Quality Ford dealers.
Back inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome as we wait for the start of the second half. Jeff Palermo along with Jacob Hesser, a terrific first half as the Broncos have a 10-point lead as they scored on the opening drive of the night. West Monroe came into this game not allowing a point through 4 postseason games, but Zachary's offense, they're just a different animal, Jacob.
Look, we talked about it being good on good.
Yeah.
Zachary's offense, West Monroe's defense won that first half. Zachary's offense took it to West Monroe's defense. And look, he had some busted coverages, things we don't normally see from West Monroe. They got after the quarterback, Keelan Brown, a little bit in that first series, but he stayed in the pocket, delivered a couple of nice passes, and they have not slowed him down yet in the first half. Second half, you've got to slow him down. You've got to score points. You want to get back in this football game.
Well, let's take a look at our first half highlights, and they tried to get after Keelan Brown, maybe rattle him a little bit here on a delayed blitz. Keelan Brown took a big hit as he was sacked by Chandler Moncrief, but then on 3rd and long, this was a backbreaker for the Rebels defense as he hits Chandler Whitfield on the long touchdown pass. West Monroe responds with a field goal They cut the lead in half. Reese Altman on the field goal. And then here's Keelan Brown, and this is really what he does best. Running with the football as he found a hole up the middle. But coming right back, the West Monroe Rebels. Carson Jones gets into the end zone. And then Zachary right back at you. What a great grab by Chris Hilton, the sophomore. West Monroe trying to get something going, but Zachary sacked Rebels quarterback Eric Common 4 times in that first half. That sack by Hunter Bell. We look at our first half statistics, and the total yards 241 to 133. The sacks, that's a big stat, and the third down too. I mean, Zachary 4 for 6. Rebels have yet to convert on third down.
Look, if you're West Monroe, you've got to start converting, because what does that do? Well, it keeps the ball out of the Broncos' hands, right? You had some success offensively. You've got to kind of compose yourself, get back to what you want to do. We saw them kind of come out with 2 different variations. They were shotgun, and then they were option. Whatever's going to work best and whatever's going to keep the ball out of the Broncos' hands, score points, adjust on defense. You've got to make adjustments or this thing's going to get ugly.
Well, let's find out more about the game plan for the West Monroe Rebels. We go down to the field. Carly McCord has Jerry Arledge right next to her.
Coach, this game is playing out like a lot of people thought it would. Both teams doing what they do best. What was your message at halftime to try to come back and respond here?
Well, we're making way too many mistakes, uncharacteristic mistakes, but good football teams like Zachary will make you look that way. We've just got to play harder. We've got to be more physical and quit making mistakes. We're hurting ourselves a whole bunch, both sides of the ball.
You said earlier this week that you knew Keelan Brown would be the offensive spark. What did you tell your team at halftime to try to come out here and contain him better?
Well, we just got to do a better job of getting off blocks. You know, you can't go stick to a block like a magnet. We're not using our hands very well. We got to be able to escape blocks. If we knew that, we got a little bit better chance of hemming him up.
Coach,
because it takes numbers to hem him up.
Coach, thank you. Good luck. We appreciate your time.
Do what? I'm sorry.
I said good luck. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Jerry Arledge, and some good analysis from him as far as what it will take for the Rebels to come from behind and beat the Zachary Broncos, the defending 5A champs. We'll be back after this here on CST.
Bring all the gifts for under the tree. And while you're at it, bring the tree. Ford F-150. Best-in-class payload. Best-in-class towing. Built for the holidays.
Right now, get an F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months and make no payments for 90 days. Only at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
Drone Racing League pilot Wild Willie is testing his skills on the scariest course imaginable. His mom's house. Fortunately, he's using panoramic Wi-Fi from Cox, because even a 1-second delay could mean trouble for everyone. Wall-to-wall fast panoramic Wi-Fi from Cox. Wi-Fi at the speed of flight.
So you've decided to go to college. That's cool. So pop quiz. Which is a better way to earn your degree? Commute to college and fill your gas tank, get stuck in traffic, drive in bad weather, try to find a parking space, walk a half-mile to class, or learn online at Independence University. In the park on a bench, on the beach on a towel, or on your couch with your kid. Your campus is wherever you want it to be. You don't go to college. College goes to you. That's independence. That's Independence University. You schedule classes around your schedule, and all your supplies, including a brand new laptop and tablet, are included with tuition. At Independence U, you'll learn from professional instructors with real work experience. You'll get personal support in school and employment assistance when you graduate. Get your degree, but keep your life. That's independence. That's Independence University. So if you're really smart, you'd call now.
Call 1-800-921-0563.
Independence U, for an independent you.
Call 1-800-921-0563.
Back inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. A 20-10 lead for the Zachary Broncos over the West Monroe Rebels. As we're concluding halftime festivities. And at halftime, they always honor the 4.0 students in that classification. These are 5A football players who are graduating in May, and they currently have a 4.0 GPA. And you see a few West Monroe players are part of that number, including Ethan Swanner. Also there, Copeland Johnson. And we are in the home of the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees, the quarterback, he won a state championship when playing in Texas, and we had a chance to ask him about winning that state title when he was playing in Texas.
I'm still very close to a lot of my high school teammates, and I think the best way to describe that moment is that, we really didn't have many D1 prospects on our team. Maybe 3 or 4 of us went and played college football after that, and you have no idea what your college career is going to look like, or if you're going to have any type of success in college. And so really that moment with those guys, I think is the pinnacle of, your youth sports experience, to compete in a state playoff and then to win a state championship. I mean, that was like, I remember vividly so many moments throughout the playoffs, winning the state title in Texas Stadium, going to the party afterward and just hanging out with all the guys, and then the moments that we've shared since then, reminiscing about it. Again, there was no guarantee for anything after that, but we felt like that was, the epitome of it all.
Good stuff there from quarterback Drew Brees, as the Saints will be taking on the Tampa Bay Bucks tomorrow. 24 more minutes left in the high school football season as the Class 5A state championship game, West Monroe and Zachary. West Monroe will get the ball, and I'm like you, Jacob. I'm very curious to see what their game plan is offensively. Their first pass they completed was for 44 yards. That's the only passing yards they have in the game. They seemed like they wanted to open it up early on, and then they wanted to try to play a ball control offense to keep Zachary's offense off the field. But they didn't have much success doing that, so we'll see what they try to do here in the second half against Zachary.
They haven't been able to protect the quarterback as well.
Yes.
Right? We talked about West Monroe's defensive line at the beginning of this game. Let's give Zachary's defensive front some credit as well. 4 sacks in the first half. West Monroe has got to protect the quarterback if they want to throw the football.
Ethan Patrick O'Brien, a sky kick taken at the 16-yard line. And a good return here for West Monroe. Carson Jones gets it out. He's got some good speed, does Carson Jones. He's close to the 40, a 22-yard return. Here's an interesting stat from the first half. West Monroe, we talked about this when we showed the graphic. West Monroe's 0 for 5 on third down. Zachary's 4 for 6. The Rebels on third down tonight have -5 yards. Zachary has 71 yards, and they've scored 2 touchdowns on third down. That's been the big difference. And you see Garrett Common, he completes his first pass of the night for 44 yards, hasn't done anything since throwing the football. Look out, more penetration in the backfield. Caleb Jackson with the hit and a loss of 4 on the play.
Jackson finished the first half with a sack. First play of the second half, tackle for a loss. West Monroe looked a little out of sorts. You don't want to see that first play of the second half. Weren't sure if they were going to pull it, give it to the running back. Got to be on the same page there in the read option.
Loss of 5 there, second down and 15 now for West Monroe. They will throw here, and it is complete, but the receiver is hit immediately. That's Sean Burrell defensively there on Jerry Day. 15 catches on the season for Day, who's also a good basketball player for the Rebels. And it's third down. They got about 9 there, so third down and 6. Again, West Monroe 0 for 5 on third down. Will that change here in the second half? If it doesn't, it's going to be a long 24 minutes here for the Rebels. Looking to make a statement here early in the second half. Common's got time to throw, and it's complete, and I think it's enough for a first down. Day made the grab as he picked it up off the turf, and they are going to move the chains. He just got it, barely. Wasn't by much, but enough.
That's why that second down was so important to pick up 9 yards. Then you make it manageable. You get back on schedule.
6 yards on that. And Couple of completions here for number 12. He's got an offer from ULM. Common's mom and dad were college athletes, and he's a good athlete himself. They run the football here. Cameron Wright, and Cameron Wright taken down after a pickup of a couple of yards by Wes Brady. Wes Brady has been a warrior for the Zachary Broncos, playing his final game, 3-year starter. His dad is in the Hall of Fame at Zachary. He was a star player and then went on to play at Louisiana Tech. Warren Brady, his grandfather, is in the University High Hall of Fame, and David Brewerton is not going to be happy when Wes Brady walks out of that high school in Zachary with a diploma. And there's going to be a penalty there. Pass interference as the pass was over the middle to Blaine Holloway. And the Rebels are going to get 15 yards out of this.
Pass interference on the defense, number 17. 15 yards.
The Zachary coaches aren't happy, but as we watch the replay, he definitely got there
penalty.
early.
Great call by the officials.
Pulls the arm of the receiver. They're going to call that one every time.
Tyler Judson, the Ole Miss commitment, with 15 career interceptions in his career. He's got 4 INTs. He was hit. That's Sean Burrell you're looking at. First down and 10. There's David Brewerton, who's not happy. As West Monroe driving the ball in the opening possession of the second half. Misdirection. Michael Hamburg. Forget about it. Touchdown. Just what West Monroe needed. How about the speed there? 4.5 speed for the man who finished 5th in the 100 meters in the state championship track meet in May. 34 yards there.
Unbelievable pull by Chaz Trichelle, the right guard. He is the reason that they get into the end zone. Nice pull, gets on the second level, gives his running back a two-way go. Unbelievable blocking downfield from the guard Trichelle. Watch the big fella here. He pulls, he'll come into your picture here at the very end. Nice job.
West Monroe fans making some noise. We'll be back.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Dude, subs.
Hot dog.
Chili dog.
No, Dodger dog.
It's gotta be crawfish.
Now you're talking. Burgers.
7-layer dip. Ribs. No contest.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice cold Coke.
Of course.
Football and Coke. Come on.
It's got to be Coke.
Game day.
Race day.
Calls for Coke. You know it.
Grab yourself a Coke.
It's Tailgate 101.
Get your tickets now for the biggest game and the biggest New Year's party in New Orleans. For everything Sugar Bowl, go to allstatesugarbowl.org.
All right, we're going to welcome you back in with some big guy love. We're looking at 2 guards, Hawthorne, Trichelle. Watch these pulls. These are unbelievable pulls that get on the second level. They make this play. You see Hawthorne, first defender. Trichelle goes to the second level, gets on the defensive back, kicks him out of the alley. They are the reason West Monroe scored on that play. Good job by the big guys.
6th touchdown run of the season for Hamburg. And now on the return here for Zachary, there's a seam, and then he was cut down. Almost a big return for Chris Hilton, but he gets it out to the 40-yard line. So now let's see how the Broncos offense responds after a 30-yard return. And maybe more importantly, how will West Monroe's defense respond after that 5-play, 61-yard drive that gives the Rebels some life here? They're back within 3 now. They haven't been this close since it was a 6-3 ball game after each team scored on their opening possession. Keelan Brown back to work. They run it, and not much there for R.J. Allen as they pick up a couple of yards. First guy there for West Monroe, Tanner Zorden. We look at Keelan Brown's first half stats. He was the most outstanding player of the game for Zachary last year in the win over Hanville, and he's on his way to back-to-back most outstanding player of the year awards in this game. 2nd down and 8. Brown to throw, and it's caught by Whitfield. And the Rebels converge on him and bring him down very quickly. Big hit by Tanner Zordon. Third and 6 coming up here. Can West Monroe get off the field? Broncos 4 for 6 on 3rd down in the first half. Big play coming up in this one. And do we have an injured Zachary player? Whitfield is hurt, slow to get off. Training staff taking a look at him. Zordon really clocked him good. That's a big injury there for Zachary if he can't continue.
West Monroe's defense trying to get the crowd involved in the game. They realize the Broncos have had success on 3rd down.
Look at this hit as he gets slammed to the turf. Falls on top of the football. Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him. Brown keeps it. Brown will not get the first down. Stopped 1.5 yards, maybe 1 yard shy of the first down, and the fans from West Monroe love it. So 4th down, what will David Brewerton do? Will he gamble here? Nope, he's going to send his punt team on.
And the answer.
Yeah, that's what good defenses are supposed to do. Forced to 3 and out. Now you got the dangerous Michael Hamburg ready to return here. They need a good punt from Sean Burrell. And you got to watch a fake. Burrell faked one last week against Destrehan and ran it for a touchdown. A high punt. Hamburg will take it from the 20. And good job on the coverage there. First guy there was Taylor Milton for Zachary. 31-yard punt. Let's go down to the field and Carly McCord.
Well, after that touchdown drive for West Monroe that came off the field, Coach Arledge looked at him and said, that's exactly what you all needed to do. Now the defense needs to go out there and do their job to get them off the field so we can go do it again, guys. They responded perfectly.
They certainly did. And now West Monroe has a chance here to take their first lead of the game if they can drive 79 yards. Handed off and nothing happening there. Cameron Wright gets shut down. Great job by Zachary. No running room at all as the Broncos fly to the football.
Look, you got to do a better job. If you're going to lead block against a guy like Wes Brady, you've got to go in there and try to punish the linebacker. He's not going to sit there and wait on you. He's going to deliver a blow. We saw the lead blocker come in on his heels. Wes Brady's going to make that play every time.
2nd down and 12. Common keeps it, and he picks up a few yards to the 26-yard line. And he was brought down by Taylor Milton. And we're looking at a 3rd down and 5. They gave him 7 on that run for Garrett. Rebels 1 for 6 on 3rd down. Common staring down his receiver, now gets off of him. Throws incomplete. Good coverage everywhere there. Blaine Howaway, the intended receiver. Tyler Judson was right there.
It's a nice job in coverage by the Broncos. They had a long time to cover the West Monroe receivers there.
Good job by the Rebels offensive line. They finally gave Garrett some time to throw, but nobody opened downfield, and now the Rebels will have to punt. And Peyton Todd will trot out there. Todd had as a freshman, had a big mistake in the semifinal game last year. He dropped the snap right at their own 1 yard line that gave Zachary an easy score. Jerry Arledge looks back at that game and says, man, there were many chances for them to win as they lost by 2. Man, Todd is a very good punter. Outstanding hang time. And Zachary will have the ball when we come back from their own 35-yard line. It's the Class 5A championship game. Don't go away. More coming up here on CST.
Do you have osteoarthritis in one or both knees? If you have osteoarthritis in one or both knees, are you on Medicare, Obamacare, or other health insurance? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a prescription strength solution for osteoarthritis of the knees, covered by Medicare at little to absolutely no cost to you. Our experienced staff will work with your doctor and handle all of your Medicare or insurance paperwork. Find out for free by calling the Back and Knee Pain Center.
Call 1-800-796-7238.
Furnace breakdown, that could be $3,300. Fridge on a Fritz, that could cost you $2,500. Get the First American Home Warranty Plan. And when a covered item breaks, call or click. That's it. And we'll repair or replace it for you. Why let a major system or appliance breakdown bust your budget? Or go through the hassle of trying to find trustworthy service people?
If you don't have First American Warranty, get it.
Call 1-800-650-2382 for a free no-obligation quote.
20-17, Zachary and West Monroe. As you look at the Rebels sideline, let's go down to the field and Carly McCord.
After that punt, one of the players for West Monroe, Michael Hamburg, he's a utility guy but plays a receiver. He walked off the field with a hand injury. It looked like it was a dislocated finger, and they seem to have gotten it back into place. Not sure his status, but definitely was in pain there for a moment. Jeff?
It looks like they're trying to reset it in there. And Chandler Whitfield is back out there for Zachary. We saw him. He got hit pretty hard on the last drive. Keelan Brown trying to avoid a big hit. He can as the pocket collapses around him. A loss of a yard or two, maybe two. Great job by that front four for West Monroe. They keep getting after it. Ethan Swanner, the 4.0 student, in on the sack.
We heard Coach Brewerton at the half tell Carly they haven't really been rushing as hard because they're scared of what Brown can do outside the pocket. That time they bring the pressure from the middle of the defense. That doesn't allow Brown to escape. If you're going to bring pressure, don't bring it from the edges because he'll find that gap in the middle of your defense. You've got to have push up the middle. That's what the Rebels did there.
2nd and 12. Brown with the pressure coming in on him and nothing happening after Jaden Williams made the catch. As the Rebels defense, they have turned it up a notch. Latavian McPhee, a junior, makes the tackle there.
You mentioned it. They brought pressure up the middle again. They found something they like with their linebackers coming in that A-gap blitz. Pressure hurries the throw, still completes it, but a Rebel defender right there to make the stop before anything.
Under 5 minutes to go in the third quarter of the 5A state championship game. Brown, swing pass, too high for Whitfield. And another 3 and out for this Broncos offense that's a little bit out of sort right now. Not a good pass by Brown, and even if Whitfield caught it, West Monroe seemed like they had it covered pretty well. And Sean Burrell is back out there to punt. Hamburger's back out there to return, so it looks like whatever issue he had with his hand has been resolved. And Coach Brewerton recognizing this game's getting a little intense. Burrell's punt. Hamburg has, well, he calls fair catch. Just couldn't run up and get it. And this is going to turn out pretty good for Burrell and the Broncos as they'll roll dead at the 20-yard line. Another chance here for West Monroe if they can mount a drive. 41-yard punt by Burrell.
I wonder how much that hand affected that. You know, normally you'd see him come up, try to make a catch on that.
He didn't seem too interested in catching that ball.
No, then takes a Zachary roll. That's what the coaches are telling Hamburg right now. Go ahead and fair catch that. You probably save about 9 yards of field position. You can see him still shaking that hand, checking on it right now. Jeff, you ever had a dislocated finger put back in?
No.
It is not fun. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now.
I've had plenty of jammed fingers, but never dislocated. Coming as he throws before he gets hit, and I don't think he really ever got. That ball might have been deflected at the line of scrimmage. There was pressure coming as Common threw the football. Look at this, more pressure on him. Well, I don't think they touched him, but they obviously impacted the throw.
A lot of hand checking going on there from the receiver and the defensive back.
Jerry Day, the intended receiver.
Probably a good no call. Both guys hand checking each other.
2nd and 10. West Monroe has reopened up the playbook again. Now they're going to run the football. And nothing happening. Broncos shut it down. Cameron Wright, another carry. And both defenses starting to really stiffen up now. And 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Rebels. And the fans from Zachary start to make some noise. They're outnumbered by the fans from West Monroe. Rebels 1 for 7 as you take a look at the student section for Zachary. They're right behind the West Monroe offense. Common keeps it. Dodges one tackler very close to that 1st down marker, but he really needed to get to the 30, and he didn't. He's a yard shy. Good run, but not enough for the junior QB.
Had a better spot on the left there from the left side, Judge. One of the best I've ever seen him do it. Phillip Rivers would find, if the running back had the ball and it was close, he'd grab it from the running back, see which official had the better spot, and he would run it to him so he'd get an extra couple inches there.
They'll punt it away. They got a weapon here in Peyton Todd, who has gotten nobody back to return for Zachary. What's going on with that? They were maybe concerned about the fake, and look at that. Zachary gets the lucky bounce. Wow.
That could have been bad, right? If that goes the other way and it rolls and rolls, nobody back there to return.
Only a 25-yard punt for Peyton Todd. It might have psyched him out when he looked down there and saw nobody was open or nobody was down there to return it. If you want to get the scoop straight from the head coach, then CST is the place to be. Tune in each week as we bring you the LSU men's and women's basketball head coach radio shows live Monday at 8 p.m. It's the Will Wade Show. And Tuesday at 8, tune in for the Nikki Fargas Show. Both coaches get in depth about the games and players and answer audience questions. Don't miss it every week all season long on CST. Run there from Keelan Brown. And that's a 1st down for the Broncos, and they're already in West Monroe territory.
You got to know the West Monroe defense is like, hey guys, we got a couple 3-and-outs against this high-powered offense. Help us out a little bit.
Yeah. 11-yard run as you look at that front 4 for the Rebels. Dalvin Hutchinson, over 300 pounds, number 99 there, 310. Allen runs right at that defense and runs right at Hutchinson. Knocks him back, gets 3.
Looks like some confusion for West Monroe defensively. Mike linebackers trying to figure out what the call is. Looks like they get it in time.
Brown to throw from a good pocket. Now it's the run, and it's not able to get anything going. They have really bottled up Keelan Brown in this 3rd quarter. No explosive plays from the Broncos in the 2nd half.
That's a veteran move by a veteran defensive line. They rush. They realize they are not going to get home. They're not going to get to the quarterback. They stop and they retrace their steps. Get back into those running lanes. Nowhere for Brown to run. It's a really nice job.
It'll be 3rd down and 8, and the fans from West Monroe are on their feet making some more noise, trying to will their team to a victory here. 2011, the last time the Rebels have won a state championship. Can they get it done here tonight? Brown goes down again. There's a flag down. We'll see what that's all about, but they continue to put great pressure on Keelan Brown. Andrew Gleason, one of the more passionate players you'll find about football, was there on the sack.
We have holding on the offense, number 72. The penalty is declined. 1st down.
Loss of 5. And West Monroe's defense comes up with another stop.
Really turned the corner nicely there. Offensive tackle, couldn't get his hands on him, ends up holding after he gets beat.
Correction, this is going to be 4th down.
It'll be 4th down and 15. And Burrell will punt. Hamburg has a chance here from the 16. Nice job by the coverage unit. as Quentin Johnson got down there to make sure that was not a long return. A short punt, only 31 yards, and Hamburg returned it for 8.
Again, West Monroe's defense stands tall. Zachary's gone toe for toe, though, defensively with him. They forced some 3 and outs as well.
And West Monroe has not had a really good field position here. A lot of these drives starting in this vicinity, 25, 20-yard line, 21-yard line. Coming, big hole. Spins and gets a big first down. That's a good start there for the Rebels. 13-yard run for number 12.
It's a nice read right there by the quarterback. You can see him reading it the entire way. Gets behind his puller, wall it off. Gets a couple extra yards there at the end. Zachary kind of fortunate there at the end. You see Brady come in. Quarterback already on the ground, kind of gives him a shot there.
From the 39-yard line. Low snap. Here comes more pressure. Another sack for that Zachary defense. Caleb Jackson. He has just bought real estate in the West Monroe backfield because he's been there all night long.
Just really bad technique here from the right tackle. Jumps outside right now. What do we say? You cannot get beat inside. Gets beat inside right now because of his technique. Wasn't the play call. When you hop, you're going to get outside of the defender. He's going to take that inside route every single time.
That's the end of the period.
We have 12 more minutes to decide the Class 5A championship game. West Monroe and Zachary. An emotional game with a lot at stake. We'll be back after this here on CST.
People look up to our craftsmanship. Grips Incorporated. People look up to our roofing. We craft each job with care. Shingles, metal, slate, or tile. The quality's beyond compare. Raise your standards, set them high. You'll choose Grips, and here is why. People look up to our craftsmanship. Grips Incorporated.
I'm Mike Neighbors. We here at CST take great pride in our Saints coverage and our coverage of quarterback Drew Brees. You see, since he stepped foot into New Orleans, nobody's interviewed him more than CST. That includes an exclusive one-on-one interview after every game. And in the next few weeks, we're going to take it a few steps further. We're going to have Brees in studio to talk about the state of the Saints and his life on and off the football field. So CST, your home of the best Saints coverage and your best coverage of Drew Brees.
Jeanette, you know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We can find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
Hey, Mr. Thompson, you know how you were so mad about going over on your mobile data plan? Well, we're Cox customers. And this is one of over 500,000 Cox hotspots, totally included in most Cox internet packages. Look, go to your mobile settings, click on Cox Wi-Fi, then plug in your Cox username and password, and then you're on Wi-Fi. And you can, stream that video of my band, literally no problem.
Find free hotspots because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
We begin the fourth quarter with the West Monroe Rebels trailing Zachary. They've trailed all night long, 20-17. They face second down and 19 from their own 30-yard line. Glad he could join us for this 5A championship game. Nice run on second and long, Cameron Wright, before he was tripped up by Tyler Judson. And now a makeable third down opportunity here. Still third and long. It'll be about third down and 8.
You're right, though. It does help you get back on schedule. They converted one earlier in the game when they had second and long. They pick up half of it, makes third down manageable. Because before, second and 19, what do you call? You pick up 12 there. Now you've got more plays in your playbook that you're able to call to try to convert on third down here. Back in the shotgun for West Monroe. Would assume they're going to throw the ball. They got a slant right now if they want it.
Common throws, got a man wide open on the wheel route. That's Cameron Wright down to the 37-yard line. Kenyon Martin on the tackle. Huge pickup on first down, or a huge pickup on third down to get the first down. And remember, they were facing second down at about 20.
Nice catch there by the running back.
21 yards.
Big play call. And trips to the left, leaked the running back on a wheel to the right. One-on-one coverage, good pitch and catch.
Carson Jones in the backfield here. And he'll get the football. Carson Jones has got speed. He's across the 30, dives for that first down marker, and he's got it, an 11-yard run for the Rebels. Let's take a look at our statistics after 3 quarters of play. Fairly even. Zachary did a lot of damage in that first half. You see the sacks, the Broncos, 5 sacks in this game. It's been a well-played football game, very few penalties. And the Rebels are on the move here, down by 3. Over the middle, down inside the 10. Charles Norman the grab. Brought down by Tyler Judson. It'll be first and goal for West Monroe.
Nice play down the middle of the football field. Throws it over the defender's head. Good route, nice throw.
19 yards. That was actually Caleb Knighton on the tackle. First and goal from the 7. Double tight end look here for West Monroe. They hand it off to Cameron Wright. Trying his best. Look at him push the pile forward. Down to the 2-yard line. The Rebels are some kind of fired up right now.
At the end of the day, they get back into the I formation, tight fullback, hand the ball off and let the running back go to work. Nice push there by the entire offense.
West Monroe looking for their first lead of the night. Wright is the tailback. Instead, it's the quarterback sneak. Touchdown, West Monroe! Or are they going to say he's down at the goal line? Wow, it looked like he was in the end zone. Oh, boy. It'll be third and goal inside the 1.
From our viewpoint, that was a no-doubt touchdown.
Yeah. And then they draw Zachary off sides, and they'll get, look at the ball, half of it's on the goal line. I mean, how do you, where are you going to move the ball forward?
I mean, it looked like he had a full arm in the end zone.
We have a dead ball encroachment against the defense, the whole line, half the distance, still third down.
Let's look at that run again.
Right at this point right there, he's got an entire, now I realize the ball's in the opposite hand, but it looked like the entire nose of that football was in.
There it's in. Touchdown Rebels, and they have their first lead of the game. They erase a 10-point deficit. The junior QB gets into the end zone. And the chant Rebels rings loud inside the dome.
That's a statement drive by the West Monroe offense after a couple of 3-and-outs. Zachary's defense has been so good all night.
They're living right, off the upright and in for Reese Altman after the bad snap. 24-20. The Rebels lead for the first time tonight in the 5A championship game.
Addiction brings unimaginable pain to those who are suffering from it and their loved ones. If you're battling addiction, we understand that you're hurting, and we're here to help. Against all hope, you can get better and free yourself from addiction. You do not need to suffer any longer. Seek the treatment you deserve. Call the number on your screen and take the first step toward a lifetime of freedom and recovery.
Call 800-307-2059.
Furnace breakdown, that could be $3,300. Fridge on a Fritz, that could cost you $2,500. Get the First American Home Warranty Plan. And when a covered item breaks, call or click. That's it. And we'll repair or replace it for you. Why let a major system or appliance breakdown bust your budget? Or go through the hassle of trying to find trustworthy service people?
If you don't have First American Warranty, get it.
Call 1-800-650-2382 for a free no-obligation quote.
Great drive there for West Monroe. Started with this run by Garrett Common. It would finish with a touchdown run. But here's second and long, and they get the wheel route, get the first down to Cameron Wright. Over the middle, complete to Charles Norman, and then they finish the drive on 3rd and goal. And they have their first lead of the night.
9 plays, 75 yards. That's what you have to do if you want to win a state championship. The defense has showed up in the second half. Offense responds. Now defense has got another challenge. You know the Broncos are going to come out firing.
Fair catch called by Jaden Williams, and the Zachary offense has been quiet for too long. If you're a Broncos fan, Keelan Brown has been shut down in the second half after West Monroe at times made it look easy against this great West Monroe defense. So let's see what Zachary could do here offensively. Their offensive coordinator, Kenny Langlaw, as you look at Brown's numbers, they're good, but not much production in the second half. High snap, Brown keeps it, and Brown gets about 4. To the 35-yard line.
A better job of Zachary's offensive line pushing the pile a little bit. West Monroe has really penetrated into the backfield the last 3 series for the Broncos.
During this great run by the Zachary Broncos, one of their staples has always been a great second half team. That has not happened here tonight. Go back to that 2015 title game. It was a 1-point game against John Ehret, and then the Broncos blew the doors off, and they just can't get the running game going. Andrew Gleason with a huge tackle on R.J. Allen, who has been shut down in this game. And a 3rd and long coming up. Loss of a yard there.
Actually ends up getting a pretty good spot considering where West Monroe hit him for progress. Again, nice pursuit right there by West Monroe's defensive front, who has dominated this second half so far.
3rd down and 7. Brown rolling out. Brown throws. They got the first down. Chandler Whitfield somehow always gets open when they need him to, and he did there. They pick up the first down.
That's why we got
It's been what's really been their go-to in this game, is picking up 3rd and longs. Nobody really wants to live in that territory, but they have, and they've converted on them.
So that quiets down the West Monroe fans, and we're up at 8 minutes to go in this game. From the 42, Allen continues to have a hard time getting anything going. Remember, Kyle Landry out for the year with an injury. He's really been their one running back that they've been using here. Daryl Givens, a freshman running back, has carried the ball a little bit, but not the time to put in a freshman with the 5A championship game on the line at the moment. 2nd down and 8. Brown keeps it. Brown looking for that first down stick. He's got it. As he is brought down by Noby Harris. Did they throw a flag there late?
They did.
Is that going to be a horse collar? Sure looked like it. Or it could be that. Happened right in front of the Zachary bench.
Hey.
horse collar against the defense, number 19, 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Going back to that play we mentioned, they had success blitzing in the A gaps. There, they walk a guy on the outside of the ball, they rush him there. That's when they are getting gashed because they are creating gaps within their defense. Brown is going to find those gaps he did there. They've had success rushing up the middle. Anytime they've tried to blitz off the edge, they've created too many gaps for the Zachary offense.
Best drive of the second half for the Broncos here at the 28-yard line. Brown going towards the end zone. Knocked away at the last second. Noby Harris makes up for the horse collar penalty with the pass defensed.
Zachary fortunate for that not to be intercepted. Go back and get a replay of that. It is really in the defensive back hands here. Still a nice play to break up the pass. He had a chance right here. Nice closing speed right there. Hits him right in the hands. Still a nice pass breakup. You looked beat. You found the football. You hit another gear. You're able to get a pass deflection.
Second down and 10 now here for Zachary. Keelan Brown telling his guys to get set. Let's go. This time a little bit of running room as the defense, you can tell, they on these read options here with Keelan Brown, you got to keep one eye on him and one eye on R.J. Allen, and the defense wasn't as quick that time to bring R.J. Allen down.
You're right, though. That's the most running room R.J. Allen's had in a very long while, and it's still only a 4-yard gain. They've done a really nice job kind of protecting that read option. As far as Allen's concerned, right, when they give it to the running back, it's Brown. When he keeps it, it's been able to hit the big plays against the Rebels.
Zachary has been good on third down tonight, 5 of 10. They got 3rd and 6, but this is 4-down territory with the football at the West Monroe 24-yard line. They bring the house. Brown gets away from it, and that's the danger. When you pressure him and he gets away from the wave of rushers, he's got a lot of room to run. It's going to be 1st and goal for Zachary at the 10-yard line.
I've said it time and time again, he is going to find the holes in the defense. If you give him a gap, which they did there, they did not have a C-gap defender. He finds it, and he picks up big yardage.
West Monroe, that's their first charge timeout.
Time to take a deep breath. With Zachary driving down by 4, Jerry Arledge doesn't like something. Bradley Williams, the free safety, made the touchdown-saving tackle there on Keelan Brown.
They need to keep an eye on that quarterback because.
Oh, okay, we're getting a little inside discussion there.
Keep an eye on the quarterback. I think everybody in the stadium knows that one.
That wasn't Jerry Arledge. They're well aware they got to keep an eye on the quarterback tonight. Remember, this should be a 3-point game. Zachary, after scoring on the opening possession, Ethan Patrick O'Brien doinks one off the upright, or else it would be a 3-point game. Now we have a whistle here before we resume play. In the first quarter, Zachary had 204 yards of offense. Then in the second quarter, just 37, 24 in the third, and now 31 here in the fourth. Keelan Brown straight ahead gets 2. Got hit hard by Tanner Zordon, who's made a bunch of tackles tonight.
Good open field tackle from Zordon there.
2nd and goal. And we are now halfway done with this fourth quarter. Bringing some pressure, and they get to R.J. Allen right away. Tanner Zordon again. Loss of a yard. 3rd and goal. Can they do it again on 3rd down?
Just on that last timeout, West Monroe's coaching staff, including Coach Arledge, having a conversation with Zordon. And they saw something on that big pickup on 3rd down that they didn't like, made an adjustment there on that run blitz.
Looks like Chandler Whitfield's going to be in the backfield here with Keelan Brown. You got 8 seconds on the play clock. Down to 5. They fake the pitch. Here's Keelan Brown up the middle. They scored a touchdown on that play earlier today, so now it's 4th and goal at the 4. What do you do here, Jacob? I think you got to go for it.
I think so, too. I think Coach Brewerton's going to realize a field goal is probably not going to win this football game because we might not get the ball back for a chance to go up and have another score. You're so close. You go for it. If you don't get it, you still pin them back. You've got your timeouts. We've seen them be aggressive all year long. We're going to continue to be aggressive here.
10 seconds on the play clock. Down to 5, 4th and goal. Handoff up the middle. Did they get it? No. Stopped at the 1-yard line. West Monroe's defense makes another big play here in the second half. They gave the football to R.J. Allen, and he couldn't get there.
I am absolutely shocked that Keelan Brown did not have that football in his hands in that situation. He's one of the best players in the state. If I'm going to go down, it's going to be Keelan Brown not scoring right there. Look, there was a gap there. West Monroe's defense closes as soon as Adams gets into the hole. Really nice job stopping him there.
Chandler Moncrief. Well, now it's up to Zachary's defense to keep West Monroe pinned back. 4:23. The Broncos have all 3 of their timeouts. And then there's some movement on the right side for West Monroe.
We have a dead ball, false start on the offense, number 81, half the distance, replay first down.
Rylan Green made that mistake.
Not much room back there. You lose a yard on it.
That was a 12-play, 67-yard drive that doesn't pick up any points for Zachary. Broncos not using their timeouts just yet. There's still some time here. You look at the numbers for Garrett Common. 5 of 10 for 99, and then had the touchdown run to put West Monroe on top for the first time tonight. Under 4 minutes to go now. The pitch. And Wright's in trouble, but he breaks a couple tackles, and there he goes. Running over defenders. What a big-time run for Cameron Wright. I would say he's healthy.
We hear about beast mode with running backs. That is full beast mode. That was 2 and 11. Watch this. Watch how many tackles he breaks here. 1 in the backfield, stiff arm. 2, 3, continues to go forward. Watch the truck stick here at the end. That's how you finish a run. That's how you get out of a backed up situation. That is a grown man run right there.
Missed all the postseason until tonight with a foot injury. Now from the 31. Common will get a couple. Down to the field and Carly McCord.
As we talked about that chemistry for West Monroe earlier, about how Coach Arledge said that this team just really likes each other. They play well for each other. This sideline has so much energy right now. It's totally different from how it was in the first half. They're just really riled up down here, supporting each other and really excited. Jeff?
3:15 and counting here as West Monroe allowing as much clock to come off that scoreboard. 2nd down and 17 here for Common. Another run for him. And let's see if Brewerton uses a timeout, and he will.
Timeout, Zachary. That's that first charge timeout.
So it'll be 3rd down. We'll take a break. 2:53 left to go. Don't go anywhere. The conclusion of the 5A championship game coming up here on CST.
Get your tickets now for the biggest game and the biggest New Year's party in New Orleans. For everything Sugar Bowl, go to allstatesugarbowl.org.
Create fun and affordable memories for the entire family with the Pierre's Party Pack presented by Adventure Quest Laser Tag. Pelican's ticket packages are available for select home games and include 4 tickets, combo meals, an on-court free throw experience, and $60 in Adventure Quest Laser Tag gift cards. Our next Pierre's Party Pack night is Sunday, December 16th against the Miami Heat, with packages starting as low as $75. For more information on how you can do it big with the family, visit pelicans.com today.
This might be the ball game right here. 3rd down and 5 for West Monroe. And now the Rebels might want to use a timeout, and they do. So they wanted to see how...
Timeout. West Monroe, that's their second charge timeout.
Wanted to see how Zachary was lining up again for West Monroe, trying to end a drought. The last title they won was in 2011. They've won 8 state championships. They've been close during this time. They lost last year to Zachary in the semifinals, 29-27. That was the only loss of the year for the Rebels. In 2016, they were the number 2 seed, and they lost to Landry Walker and Keaton Thompson, 50-21. In 2015, they were the number 1 seed and lost to Ponchatoula, 28-21. There you see 8 state championships. There's that school that never heard of before, and number 2. Zachary's got 2 and trying to get to number 3.
Fortunate to be on the good end of 3 of those 4 for Evangel. Fortunate, I guess, for Hahnville. I was on the bad end of one of their 2 state championships.
So 3rd down and 5. Handoff up the middle. Not going to be a first down. And Brewerton quickly calls timeout.
Well, timeout. Zachary, that's their second charge timeout.
4th down and 2. And man, there's always a part of you right here, Jacob. If you go for it, you pick up the first down, you probably end the game.
Oh man, this is one of those situations, right? This is, as a coach, where you want to be aggressive. You want to just put that nail in the coffin. It's right. It's like the devil and angel scenario, right on your shoulders. But your defense has been so dominant in this second half. Your punter has had a really nice game. He's only had 1 bad punt tonight. You've got to put faith in your defense, knowing they need a touchdown. A field goal does Zachary no help. I like the move. Go ahead, punt it here. Give them a long field. Put your defense, who's been so salty this entire second half, on the field.
He's been averaging 37 yards a punt. They don't pressure him, and man, does he get off a boomer. Whitfield lets it drop. Does it get into the end zone? It does. Oh, man. Wow. That was a Thomas Morstead punt there. 62 yards for Peyton Todd.
You're not going to see a high school punter hit one much better.
Did you hear the boom off his leg?
My goodness. If we were in Cowboy Stadium, that would have hit the Jumbotron.
All right, the Broncos have it from their own 20. They need 6. 2:38 to go. The Broncos have 1 timeout. Fasten your seatbelts. We're looking forward to a dramatic ending. Keelan Brown will run. Brown will be stopped at the line of scrimmage. He took a massive hit. Chandler Moncrief lowering the boom.
Moncrief gets the big hit, but it's Tanner Zordan 2-gapping the offensive lineman right here. He's going to blitz. He forces Brown to change his path. Really nice job by the linebacking core from West Monroe there.
Broncos back up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10. Brown throws. Look at that. Maybe a little bit rattled. Maybe a little bit. He knows he missed the play right there.
It's one we hadn't really seen Brown miss all year long.
I've never seen him throw a pass like that ever in my life, and I've watched a lot of his games. That's where the nerves are getting to you maybe a little bit.
The difference in the second half is the adjustment West Monroe made, blitzing the A-gap. They've had success every time outside of one time this entire second half.
And now he can't handle the snap, but they get it off. and it's going to work out for Zachary. Big play coming up here. This is Chris Hilton. It's a foot race inside the 20. Touchdown, Zachary. Are you kidding me? 80 yards.
A bobbled snap. Your composed quarterback that we thought, hey, is this the first time we've ever seen him rattled? He says, no, not at all. Let me bobble the snap and deliver the screen pass. Wow, what composure there.
That play had disaster written all over it, and there was a block in the back the officials missed.
West Monroe fans react to the Jumbotron here, but officials missed it. Still a heck of a play.
And there's your coming out party for Chris Hilton. You're going to hear a lot about him over the next 2 years. 2 touchdown catches in the Class 5A championship game.
80-yard touchdown in the final 2 minutes of the 5A state championship game. What a play. You talked about him. Look, you talked about him before the game, during the game. And you're right, this is his coming out party. He is the next great receiver in a long line of Zachary receivers.
6'1", 170 pounds. And that move that he made there to get by the last Rebel defender that was in front of him was something special. Look at that, a little hot potato. And then it's off to the races for Hilton. Wow. It's a stunned crowd here for West Monroe. So close. They still got time, though. 1:51, but just one timeout.
And only needing a field goal because of the missed extra point to tie this thing into overtime.
I would be fine with that.
Why not? It's the last game.
Yep. Don't have anywhere to go. And West Monroe will start from about their 30-31 yard line after the short return by Green. So Garrett Common, 6'3", 197 pounds, has thrown for 1,300 yards this season. Can he muster the drive of his life right here? They call him a born leader because he has all of those intangibles. Very positive. So even though his defense just gave up an 80-yard touchdown pass, he's probably thinking to himself, we're going to take this football and drive it and score the game-winning touchdown. We'll see if they can do that. 1:47 to go. Common looks, throws, knocked away. Great defense there by the Broncos. That's Tyler Judson, the Ole Miss commitment, making a play. 2nd and 10.
Only one timeout for the Rebels really hampers what they can do. You still had a bag full of timeouts. You could run a draw. You could try to do something on the line of scrimmage.
May run a draw here and just see what happens. I'm going to throw it. Here comes pressure. Screenplay coming up. This is Cameron Wright. Can't get very far, though, as he's tackled from behind. Another stop for Caleb Jackson. What a game he's had. He's only listed as a 2-star prospect, but he's played bigger than that tonight. 120 and counting here. 3rd and 7. West Monroe 3 of 11 on 3rd downs. Common rolling to his left, right. Spins away from a defender, trying to stay on his feet. 4th down coming up. They might want to use their final timeout right here. Their season is on the line, and they're
surprised they're not. Get your best ball play together, call timeout, regroup. A lot of time getting off the clock right now. Realize you want to save it as long as you can, but this is it. This is 4th down.
4th down and 5 for the Rebels. Common, looking. He loses the ball. Still alive. That's your ball game. Zachary comes up with the defensive stand. The Broncos are going to win back-to-back 5A championships. What a comeback. What a ball game. Could have been a face mask.
That's what I was kind of waiting on. The hand across the face there. Happened so quickly. Tough to call for the officials.
That is 6 sacks for the Broncos. Oh, David Brewerton. He wants to call a timeout here. Wants to make sure he's got 11 guys on the field. What an emotional moment.
Timeout. Zachary, that's that third and last charge timeout.
Get everybody composed here. Oh, man. What a turn of events. It looked like Jerry Arledge's club had turned the corner here. Had Zachary right where they wanted him. And then an 80-yard touchdown pass.
I mean, that's the worst kind of hurt there. You have all the momentum. You played so much better than Zachary in the second half outside of 2 minutes, right? Credit Zachary for staying composed, staying within the game. That is such a big play. To go 80 yards against one of the best, if not the best defense in the state of Louisiana. A bobbled snap.
West Monroe does have the one timeout, so they can at least force Zachary to snap it twice. And they use that timeout right there. All it needs is one more clean snap, and the Rebels win this thing. It didn't look good or Zachary wins this game. Didn't look good for the Broncos. Oh, man. They never did call timeout. That's going to be it. The Zachary Broncos repeat as 5A champions. A fist pump from David Brewerton. 27-24. 3 titles for the Broncos in 4 years.
Well, I think we saved the best game for last. I mean, 27-24, ebbs and flows all over the place. It was Zachary being dominant, West Monroe being dominant. Then Zachary makes that last play, final play, 2 minutes to go in the game. Go 80 yards, Hilton on the screen. What a ball game we just witnessed. Nobody on that field should hang their head. Everybody played outstanding football. It's a fun game to watch, fun game to call. Look, I've been in the position of those West Monroe Rebels losing state championship game by 6 points to Hanville. It's not fun, but you should hold your head high. You just played a heck of a football game.
Big celebration there. A well-deserved win. I mean, look at who Zachary knocked off. Some of the biggest names in 5A to get here. Hanville, Destrehan, Acadiana, and here tonight, West Monroe.
I think it's safe to call that a dynasty now.
I would say so. When you win 3 in 4 years, they are the program that everyone in 5A is trying to aspire to be. At one time, it was West Monroe. They gave it a great effort, down 10 at halftime. Somehow finally figured out how to stop Zachary, except for one play here in the second half. Let's go down to the field and Carly McCord.
Coach, really a roller coaster of emotions. I can just imagine what you're feeling right now. What do you want to say about your team's performance in this game? I understand this is very emotional.
Let me tell you something, this playoff run that these kids went through to go to Hanville and to Acadiana and to Destrehan and face those guys right here in the final game. Wow. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, what are you going to say? I don't really know what to say. I'm totally blown away right now. But it doesn't surprise me, the effort of our kids. This is what they do. That Z on their helmet, that's what that means right there. We fight until the last possible second, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
You knew what West Monroe was going to bring in here today, the legacy that they hold in the state of Louisiana and their football program. You know Jerry Arledge and what he brings to the table. What does it mean to be able to have shared this field with them tonight and ultimately get the win?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because for going on 30 years, that's the standard in 5A football right there. And that man right there has coached some unbelievable teams, both as a defensive coordinator and as a head football coach, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for him and his football team. They're incredibly well coached. They fight very hard, and it was an honor to be on the field with them tonight. Shame one of us had to lose.
You told us how Keelan Brown has really just evolved nicely and has become a dynamic player for you all. What do you want to say about your quarterback?
Hey, Keelan did what Keelan does. I don't think he had a great game tonight, but I thought he had a pretty good game. Made a play at the end when we needed to make one, got the ball where it needed to be, and sophomore receiver goes and makes a big play. So,
what was going through your mind when West Monroe took the lead and you knew you had to make a comeback? What were you thinking?
We need a little time. We can score from anywhere on the field. We just need a little time, and thank goodness defense came up with a stop right there.
Were you telling your guys on the sideline to be patient and not panic?
Sure, absolutely. There was no panic on our sideline. These guys have played in some monster games the last 3 years of their career, and they played hard all the way through. That wasn't going to be a problem.
Overall, I know that last year you said you came here, you wanted to take that experience and bring it on the field this year. Do you think that helped you all win this one?
Without question. Without question. Let me tell you something. It's hard for a football team to win a state title when they've been told from the very beginning that they should. And that's a lot of added pressure, both inside and outside of the program. And I'm so proud of our kids for taking that pressure and doing something with it.
And you're a younger coach. Does it just mean so much to you to be able to succeed the way you have so early on in your career?
Well, I'll tell you, when I took this job 5 years ago, after I did the press conference, I went home and I laid in bed that night and I visualized being in this house and looking up there and seeing a Z next to that West Monroe symbol because they are the standard. And that night I told my wife, I said, we got to try to build something big, and if we're going to do it, we got to emulate those guys because they set the standard. And that's to look up there and see our logos right next to each other and get a win. It's just unbelievable. It really is.
Coach, go enjoy this with your team. Go give them big hugs. We congratulate you and thank you for your time.
Thank you all very much. We appreciate it.
Jeff, we'll send it back to you and Jacob.
Thanks a lot, Carly. As West Monroe accepting their runner-up trophy, 16th appearance in the state championship game. They are now 8-8 in the state championship contest as they are still stuck at 8 state championships. Jerry Arledge was trying to win his first as a head coach, and he was 2 minutes away from doing so.
Oh, what a great career. So close to being able to claim that championship as a head coach. 2 minutes away. What fight they showed, though, to come back, get into this game down to a very good Zachary football team. Defense came out, made adjustments. A really nice second half. And credit Zachary, man. You just heard it from Coach Brewerton. His team never quit, had a tough road. You mentioned it, everywhere they had to go. Yeah. Blue bloods all over the map, had to go play at their places. It's an ultimate playoff run when you got to go through those teams.
Garrett Common, the most outstanding player of the game for the West Monroe Rebels. Zachary beat the 3 seed, the 2 seed, and then the 1 seed here tonight over the last 3 weeks. Let's see who the most outstanding player is for Zachary. Keelan Brown, second year in a row. He might want to share that plaque, though, with his sophomore wide receiver, Chris Hilton, who made 2 outstanding plays. I don't even think Keelan knows that he won.
I think he's looking for Chris Hilton.
Yeah.
Both those young men had a heck of a day.
I don't think he's like, hey, I played good, but there's some other guys that played even better than me. Tell you another guy that deserves it, Wes Brady. Well, now they're I guess they had a little thing here they wanted to. One more year for Keelan Brown. Can he win 3 state championships? Well, he'll answer that question later. Tonight he's going to savor what he was able to do here tonight. Still, you got to give him a lot of credit in that first half. I mean, West Monroe had no answer for him.
He's an X factor. When you're a defense coordinator, you know you're going to have to play against him. you have to worry about everything, right? It's not one thing, it's not two things, it's 3, 4, 5, 6 things, because he can do it all. What composure from a young man. I mean, he's still only a junior.
Now West Monroe will accept that state championship trophy for the 3rd time in 4 years. I've lived in Baton Rouge for most of my adult life, Jacob, and anybody that's followed high school football has said, man, it seems like Zachary, they could be really something. They could be a power in 5A. They got great facilities. They got their own school district. They got a great school. Zachary Community School District is always the #1 school district in the state. They got so much going for them. They just need the right person to lead the program. Neil Weiner was the head coach there, started turning it around. Coach Weiner leaves to go to Dunham. David Brewerton, who built Livonia from nothing, brought him to the state championship game. And when Brewerton gets there, the program pops.
Yep.
And he had some good players to start with Lindsey Scott, and it's continued here with Keelan Brown and all the other guys. We mentioned Caleb Jackson's name. What a program player. Wes Brady, Chandler Whitfield, just some terrific football players on this team, and a well-deserved honor for them.
You're exactly right. Still got a lot coming back next year.
Yes.
We know Brown's coming back. We know Chris Hilton, 2 big touchdown catches coming back. Maverick McClure coming back.
Yeah.
They've got a real nice core coming back yet again for another state championship run.
Sean Burrell, too, an outstanding cornerback. So they'll be loaded again next season. Waiting to hear from Keelan Brown once they take the picture here with the 5A trophy. Meanwhile, they sing the alma mater from West Monroe. Some of the players heading to the locker room. Others will join the rest of the student body. And now Zachary will start a major celebration there with its student section. Tyler Judson, he'll move on to Ole Miss. He's had a great career. Let's go down to the field and Carly McCord.
Keelan, you're the man of the hour, back-to-back state champions. How does it feel right now? Can you try to explain the emotions?
It's unexplainable. We know this game wasn't going to be easy. And, we just played our hardest and we played physical. And we turned out to a win.
Coach Brewerton said he knew coming into this game that it wasn't going to be easy, just like you said. He knew what West Monroe brought to the table, and he said he wanted to do his best job preparing you all for that. And one of the things he wanted to do was take the experience from last year and apply it to this year. Do you felt like that experience really carried over for you?
It felt like a great experience. Coming into this game, I didn't feel like it was a championship game. I just felt like it was a regular semifinal game because we used to play them in the semifinal game. And, we just worked hard during practice, good game plan in, and our defense played a very good job, and our O-line blocked their butts off, and my running back, they did good, receivers, all the credit to them.
In the second half, West Monroe came out and looked like a completely different team. They were fired up, they were pumped, and they really gave you all fits there. You all didn't respond and take over the lead again until the end of the fourth. Were you a little relaxed when that moment happened, or did you still think it wasn't over?
It wasn't over. I couldn't be relaxed. We were just on the move. And, it was just a tough fight, and we came out with a W.
You look at your supporting cast on offense and what they were able to do, all the people that stepped up big. What do you want to say about them?
Well, a little bit of my offense was seniors, but, I just had to do it for the seniors, all the seniors. And, they just ended their senior year with a championship.
What do you want to say about West Monroe, having the pleasure of sharing this field with them tonight? You know they're a great program, and as a good football player yourself, I know you respect people like them.
Yeah, I respect the West Monroe. They're the hardest team I ever played in my life. They're a very big and physical team.
What do you want to say to the community of Zachary?
Well, thank you to the community, the staff, student body, and the students that came out to support us.
Keelan, what's next for you?
Working hard in the off season. Well, baseball, actually. Yeah.
Think you'll win a championship with baseball, too?
I have a feeling we are.
All right, well, we hope you do. Congratulations, good luck in your future, and thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
And Jeff Jacob, will send it back to you.
Great job this weekend, Carly. And, Keelan Brown is a pretty good baseball player and could be drafted as a center fielder when his high school career is over, but right now he is a two-time state champion in football. We'll take a break, and then we'll wrap things up from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. What a weekend. And it concludes with the classic game between Zachary and West Monroe.
People look up to our craftsmanship. Cribs Incorporated for every roof or sheet metal job. We're gonna do the best, and here's the proof. For more than 50 years, our name stood above the rest. Look up and you'll probably find Cribs Incorporated quality. People look up to our craftsmanship. Cribs Incorporated.
Now Contour from Cox gets you right to the strange stuff.
Something's coming. Something hungry for blood.
Noble stuff.
The crown must always win.
Show me something dramatic.
And orange stuff. Along with the best stuff on cable. Because Netflix is now on Contour.
How awesome is this place?
Just say it.
Black Mirror.
And get right to the fierce, funny, bold, and bingy stuff. Watch it all on Contour. Just say Netflix to get started.
Do you have osteoarthritis in one or both knees? If you have osteoarthritis in one or both knees, are you on Medicare, Obamacare, or other health insurance? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a prescription strength solution for osteoarthritis of the knees, covered by Medicare at little to absolutely no cost to you. Our experienced staff will work with your doctor and handle all of your Medicare or insurance paperwork. Find out for free by calling the Back and Knee Pain Center.
Call 1-800-796-7238.
Are you suffering from chronic back or arthritis pain that keeps you from enjoying everyday life? Are you currently covered by Medicare or private PPO insurance plans such as United Healthcare, Humana, Care Improvement Plus, or Blue Cross Blue Shield? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving supportive back brace at little or no cost to you. Call the Alliance Back Brace Center today. When you qualify, our professional, friendly staff will deal directly with Medicare or private insurance for free so you don't have to.
That does it for our coverage of the 2018 All-State Sugar Bowl LHSAA Prep Classic. And what a classic to finish the weekend with the Zachary Broncos beating the West Monroe Rebels in the final 2 minutes, 27-24. Want to thank everyone involved in the broadcast, our director Walter Volpatti, producer Ryan Doyle, Jeff Brenner, for Tommy Cooper, our statistician, Carly McCord, Jacob Hester. I'm Jeff Palermo. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next year.